track and Bryan North. They're the pulse of local sports here.
Chris knows probably as much about anybody about Onslow County stuff and the surrounding counties. Bryan North probably knows the whole East. I mean, he knows coaches and names and stuff that ain't nobody remember.
Jerry, you just walked in, but I just told him you told me you're going to three-peat.
There you go.
You're going to get it next year, and your secret is you call Madam Lorraine, that palm reader up in Farmville.
If you ain't first, you last. Perfect practice makes perfect. Always strive to be a champion.
There you go.
And I before E, except after
Big
C.
announcement right now. First guy that walks in here and says Freedom 97.1, I'll fill up the tank of gas for free.
Hold
I'll
on,
give
let me
them
text
food
my son.
for free. An order of food, and I'll buy them a soda pop to go with it.
Wow, our first person.
First person walks in here and says Freedom 97.1.
97.1
is number one.
A free tank of gas.
Free tank of gas. Some food, within reason, that they can eat themselves, and a drink.
All the steak and lobster they can eat.
Topic number 2: price of gas. As long as we're here, is $2.60 a gallon.
Wee doggies.
You can announce that all morning long. If
Man, they've been in office 2 weeks, and the price of gas is already down to $2.60 because of our show too.
And Bob Warlick's on the way listening, I'm sure.
I got Monsters Energy drink and Coca-Cola out front of the sign out there. They're giving away some samples. You got the Monster tent and Coca-Cola tent out front. Got Frito-Lay here. He's got a corn board to give away and a tent and some jumping, shooting stuff for little kids.
Oh, nice. Can we play too?
Robert Farley's here.
Look,
we got all
he's got it on his shirt. Does he win?
Yeah, we got tumblers. We got tumblers to give away. 30 and 20 ounce tumblers. So come on this way if you can. And
first person mentions WSME Freedom 97.1. Jerry's going to give away a free tank of gas, a meal, a tumbler, and what else?
That'd be good.
And a drink. And a free drink to go in that tumbler.
And a White Claw.
Whatever.
Well, before we get too much further, because I started off and we just jumped right in and started talking, let me thank our fine sponsors: National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Golden Corral, Mr. Billy Sewell, Fountain Management, Sandra Fountain, Bartley Insurance Services, Bill Mercer, Onslow County Motor Company, Ben Beasley and the gang, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, Lane and Associates Family Dentistry, Doctors Tommy and Kim Morgan, Jones Onslow EMC, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, Southern Touch Painting, and Barnes Diamond Gallery.
And remember, next Valentine's Day, we're giving away that $75 gift certificate on Sports Talk from Barnes Diamond Gallery,
courtesy of Barnes Diamond Gallery.
And we got to thank
the folks over, too.
We got to thank the folks over at Need It Now for the trophy.
I'm sitting in some of my paperwork here. I'm sure.
Is that given away next Friday, Ashley?
I don't know.
The diamond thing. No, it's
Valentine's
actually on Valentine's Day.
The 14th.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it. And also want to make sure we thank Downey's Heating and Air Conditioning for our Hurricane Watch. Jason Humphrey and the gang. They sponsor that. Hurricanes are doing pretty well, and they've had some moves. So Kevin Brown probably knows more about hockey than any of us put together. So he's going to tell us our Hurricane Watch today. Welcome, Kevin Brown.
It is good to be here, Chris.
Getting back to Need It Now, they're in the new location, 1209 Gum Branch Road, right across the street from where they used to be, in the same building with Carolina Comfort up there, and Amber and Meredith are glad to help you with your embroidery, trophies, plaques. For churches, school groups, teams, doesn't make the difference. And again, they did a good job with the trophy, who we're going to announce and award it to the 2024 champion high school football prognosticator, repeat, Jerry Allen.
And there's the info on the trophy place. If there's anything in there, phone numbers that you want to get out.
Does he get to keep that, or is that
a
rotating?
Go up on the table.
Is that a rotating trophy?
No.
Actually,
I got last year's and this year.
Yeah.
Let's go right beside.
You better ask his wife Gina if that's okay.
It is okay.
Well, let's go ahead and get the hard part out of the way. Let's go ahead and get this, Jerry. Okay.
Without further ado, and we have a celebrity guest en route to give it away to him. Donald J. Trump is en route. Air Force One's going to land at
right in my lot back there.
Yeah, right in the lot. That'd be Marine One.
Congratulations, Jerry Allen. From the WSME Board of Directors, our sports talk team here, we would just let you know that the only person that loves you more than us is you.
You daggone right, man. Hey, that's the way you get through life, man. I appreciate that, guys. I'm sorry.
Congratulations.
I'm sorry I had to do what I did to you, but that's part of the game. You know what I mean?
I just want Madam Lorraine's phone number before we leave.
I heard all that great stuff y'all were talking about the events and the $75. Right? Here you go, Rainer. Right now, get your trivia question out. This is what we're going to give. I don't know what it is, but it's big and heavy.
It's big.
It's a Hey Google. It's a Nest Hub. You can tell me what it is.
Big
we're going
ain't
to
the
give
word
that
for
away
it. All right.
today.
You know it's expensive. Says Google on it.
There you go. Whatever
Well,
that is.
we got to give you a salute, though, before we move on. All hail the king of the pigs. Ready? All hail.
That's right. That's right.
Only one thing wrong with that, Jerry. We don't have a phone people calling in to win it.
Oh, that's true.
910-358-5004.
That's the number they're going to call for
Yeah,
the true
you
question.
call it.
Put that out there again.
910-358-5004.
And while we're going, I'm going to let you pick the trivia
want
question.
to?
That's this day in sports. You can do it from one of those, or you can come up with your own. We'll pass those out later. We'll get ready to roll. So what is our first topic? While he's looking over and picking us a trivia question, what do y'all want to talk about first? We've talked about let's finish up high school football season. Kind of give a report card. Anybody want to do that?
Yeah, West Charlotte needs to send the Cardinals a thank you note for breaking that guy's leg against the Cardinals. He couldn't run the ball in the state championship game against West Charlotte. I'm talking about 71st, and they lost 14-7 because the guy couldn't play. He was hurt.
And the only Eastern team that won was
Tarboro.
That'd have been a good trivia question.
It would have been.
I mean, this year the East, some years struggles with it, and this year all three Western teams, the bigger teams won, and Tarboro won the 1A.
What's going to be interesting next year because we're going to have 8 state champions.
Woo! In every sport.
8 classes. One less week of football playoffs, I believe, because only 32 teams in the East will make it and 32 in the West instead of 64. So that's one less round of playoffs. So basketball coaches are like that, so get done faster.
Oh, yeah.
You were talking about the 71st. And
Right.
Okay, so 71st quarterback, we
Right.
hurt his leg and he had a big old brace. He actually didn't start that game. His brother did,
Okay.
and he came in the second half. Not only did that happen, we broke number 9, the big running back in the linebacker's hand, right hand. He had a big old soft cast.
Oh,
So
really?
he didn't play offense either. He just played defense.
I know number 9 was a load.
Well, he only played defense, and he wasn't doing very good tackling that way,
Well,
And somebody said that West Charlotte had 2,800 or 3,200 kids. They're going from 3A to 8A.
That'll be one of the bigs, yeah. Wow. That's a lot of kids.
It's just hard for these guys in the East, seems like, to compete with them boys out there. I mean, unless you're loaded sometimes like Havelock has been in the past. And I'm going to go ahead and pick, I think Havelock and Southwestern in the same conference this upcoming football season. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Havelock.
You going to go out on a limb and pick Havelock to win that conference?
It's not official. They're to the second grouping. So now it's up. Now they're doing the. If you want to contest where your conference is, you have to have a reason why. So.
And we got a rebirth of another rivalry because I understand White Oak's going to be in the conference with Jacksonville.
They are.
So
And Swansboro is joining them.
Right. I know Coach Ray Durham told me, he said he was glad Jacksonville played White Oak when they did early in the season because he thought maybe a little bit later on it would have been, could have gone the other way.
And Northside moved out of that conference, and they'll be with Southwest and Richlands and
West Carteret,
Dixon, Croatan,
Richlands,
Southwest, and East Duplin.
And East Duplin. Southwest and East Duplin will be the 2 4As, and the rest of them will be 5A.
Yep.
All right, looking at let's start with the Cardinals. We'll do our end of the season report card. I think the Cardinals make grade out the best of any of the teams. So obviously, we went the farthest. We'll start out. They won their first 5 games, lost to Havelock. Which how many times have you seen that where Cardinals and Havelock trade wins? One wins early. I don't know if there's been a year where a team won both of them. Do you recall that, you guys, covering the games?
I don't remember.
What's that now?
Where Havelock and Jacksonville played twice, in the playoffs in the regular season, and the same team won both games. I don't recall that. I'm sure it's probably happened, but
Yeah, that was early on when Bo started getting it going that we would play. They beat us twice. I don't remember when it was.
in the same year. Most years, though, whichever team wins the regular season, if they meet again, they're destined to lose. So Havelock did win that game 21-14, and the Cardinals rolled off 7 straight wins, including over Havelock. And that was a game. Man, remind everybody about that game because it was Cardinals were down at halftime, weren't they? 28-21.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they were up 14-0 right off the bat.
right. First kickoff of the half, the guy received it, bumbled it, and we picked it up in the end zone for 7.
Right.
Then they went 3 and out.
Mhm.
We were 2 plays,
Mhm.
touchdown.
Took it all the way
numbers.
again, yeah.
And then it went back and forth for a while. We went in, down 14 points? Were we down 7 or 14 points?
It
7.
was
28-21 at
28,
halftime.
21
down
at halftime.
At halftime, and then we're just going to play our smart play, give it to number 9. First play from scrimmage, he takes it 74 yards. They get it, 3 and out, give it back to us. We give it the same. We like that play so much. We ran it again. He took it 62 yards for a touchdown. They went 3 and out. They punted it back to us. And
Gave it to him again.
we liked that one so much. I think the offensive coordinator went to the bathroom, so the coach said, "Let's just run the same play." So
Yeah.
they ran the same play. He took that one 78 yards
They
to the
scored
house.
5 touchdowns in the second half. They put it on the
He had a
Rams.
mon- I
So
remember he had a
the
monster-
Cardinals
he had a
lost
monster
35 straight points, 35-0 in the second half.
I
Wow.
was in that game at the house, and it was, you go in there down at halftime, and then you're ready to go. Coming out,
Yep.
just laying a smackdown on them was just impressive to listen to.
56-28 was the final there.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then they that was the Eastern semifinals. And the Eastern finals, of course, had to go to Fayetteville and play 71st.
Yeah.
71st had a good team, from what I understand.
71st had a real good
They
team.
really did.
And when we started off, we had the first possession. Our first play, we scored. We gained like 18 yards. And then our next play,
fumbled ball.
well, dude, if he would have got the pitch out, I think he would have took it another 30 yards. I mean, and he just fumbled it and kicked it, and they picked it up. And then they just, man, that was just the greatest
I believe
way.
I believe if they play 10 times, and I'm a Jacksonville Cardinal fan, I think that 74th will beat Jacksonville 7 out of 10 times.
There's no doubt. I would say that.
Just that
I
good.
would say
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say that. But 71st, they waited to snap the ball every play with less than 3 seconds on the play clock. They controlled the game, and when they do that, there's no way you can come back from it.
All right, you know what? Now, what grade would you give the Cardinals for the year? Definitely an A. A grade. What grade do you give the Cardinals for their season? A, B, C. Anyone? A, B, C, D, E.
They get the highest grade there
A.
is.
A.
Is A.
So say A.
Not A plus is higher.
You give them an A plus.
A plus plus.
I give them A plus.
I think A plus would have been getting to the state championship.
I give them A plus, man.
And
I'll
I
give
went,
them
I went to one JV game. Watched the Cardinals
A. Are they
play.
looking good upcoming?
Yeah, they look pretty good to me.
They only lost one game.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so next year we got a quarterback that's played. I mean, we got one that's played some, and he's good. We got 2 running backs that I'm wanting to say that they are 2 Eric Griffins.
Really.
Yes.
Eric, he's graduating, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah, we
Okay.
lose both running backs. Okay,
Okay.
we only lose two offensive linemen,
Mm.
but the 2 that we're replacing with got time this year too. So there you go.
So no rebuilding, reloading.
Yeah, so we lose Eccles, but we got another guy that was 6'5", that was on JV that came up the latter part of the year, and he was on the receiving team. But he's good.
How about the defense? They're looking good on
Defense was looking good. We lost the twins. We lost
Right.
man. We
Linebacker.
lost Ezekiel. Yeah, the linebacker into safety. Other than that, we lost 1 defensive lineman. Well, we had 6 of them. And as far as Eccles, the main thing that we cannot replace, that it will take us 40 years to replace, is number 9.
Juju.
It's Juju.
Yeah.
We don't have a Juju, but do we have a team? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're fine. Kicking game's going to be okay.
Greenville Rose will be pretty good next year, too, because they're the only team to beat the JVs this year.
Yeah, JV, yeah. And here, what they, at midpoint of the season, they brought the majority of their JVs up,
Right.
and they just had a skeleton JV crew. What I was told by a New Bern guy that I know said that when they played JV against JV, they only had 22 players on JV.
Mm.
Where they played us, there was 40. So they moved all the studs up.
And they made it to the 4th round. They got knocked out by 71st.
Yeah.
They went on the road, won 3 straight road games, and
And beat good teams.
Yeah,
Two
good
seed,
teams.
3 team. I mean, they were beating good teams.
You talking about moving players up? I recall some JV games where players were brought down to win a JV game, brought down from the varsity to play JV that night.
Huh.
It's kind of weird. All right, Farley, what's your grade for the Cardinals?
I saw them play one time. I give them
Just
an
based on what you saw.
A minus.
Downtown, Kevin
Yeah.
Brown.
Didn't get to see many games, but listened to
We saw one.
several. Well, it is, yeah. Definitely get an A. They've done great to make it that far.
Cardinals grade out an
Playoffs.
A from everyone. That's good. Let's switch to the other big city school, Northside. Northside jumped right out with a whooping stick on Clinton, 44-0. Everybody like, Northside's back.
That was fool's gold
Apparently,
there.
Clinton was gone.
Yeah.
I don't know if Clinton won a game the rest of the year. Swansburg, they beat Swansburg 21-14. Northside did. So 2-0, looking good. Things are in a positive direction. And then
the wheels run off.
lost 8 in a row, including
Wheels run off.
3 shutouts. Where they were shut out. And then they were one of the only ones in the area I know that did the extra game, like the week that was added because of the Western.
They played Martin County.
Yeah, they played.
But I'm going to tell you,
Yep, Martin
that
County.
team over there at
And beat 'em.
Northside is young. They were a young team, so I think they're going to improve a whole lot. I really.
And switching conferences will help them for sure next year.
I think they were the only school in Onslow County that their last game was a win.
They won.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
because of the
Guaranteed.
funkiness of the way they played that schedule, like they did. I'm looking at Clinton. Man, what happened with Clinton? First of all, let me see what they ended up finishing.
Where did Northside fall into conference stuff? With
They're moving to the
Havelock side?
Yes.
Yeah, they're moving in.
They're moving.
With Southwest Havelock, that group,
Yeah.
the 4A, 5A split conference, which is all
I'm
jacked up.
gonna tell y'all something. Right now. In the Havelock conference, if it stays the way it is, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'll even put $5 against all y'all on it.
What's that, bud? What's that?
Havelock will win every conference football game by 50 points.
I'll take that.
I'll take some of that.
By
Yeah.
50 points.
Did you say $500?
I'm just telling you, they got nobody. Who they
Okay.
got?
Well, I got some of that.
Well,
action.
if they don't have
They got to win
anybody-
every conference game by 50 points or more.
If
Okay.
they don't have anybody, how they going to beat everybody by 50 points?
No, he's talking about.
They don't
No
got no
competition.
competition. For
Okay.
where Havelock is
Mm-hmm.
and where everybody else is,
Mm-hmm.
the only one that he's going to come close would be East Duplin.
Yeah.
That's it.
I agree with that.
If I was Havelock, I'd be upset. Because
no.
when you get down
Havelock's
to it,
lost a little bit, and including coaches.
when you get down,
Some of their coaches jumped ship.
Who's gone? Caleb King.
They had 2 go to Pamlico.
yeah, but that's
really?
that was
They were
one with
assistant
special
coaches.
team
Yeah,
and one
but
was a
they're
JV coach.
Okay.
I thought it was one was their offensive coordinator.
No, the head coach at Pamlico was been the special team coach, Brandon Akins. He was at
Okay.
Jacksonville at one time. The other one's a JV coach.
So Brandon went to Pamlico?
Yes,
What's he doing there?
he's a head coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the head coach. Going to run the defense. He brought his buddy, the JV guy, to be the offensive coordinator. So they both.
Well,
together.
you are the champion prognosticator.
You better not pick against me.
I'm not. I'm gonna wait and pick last this coming year.
Yeah,
The champion chicken wing eater,
Champion
hot
chicken
wing,
wing
was Brandon Akins.
Yeah, that's right.
He eat more chicken wings.
Yeah, but
They were hot wings too.
Yeah.
I can eat a lot of wings, but I can't do the hot ones like
Well,
that. Not that many.
congratulations, Brandon. I didn't know he's a hurricane.
Yeah, that's
man.
good
great.
for everybody in Pamlico County. Brandon will do a very good job.
He really will.
So back to the north side, they finished 3-8. Grade for north side for the year. Kevin,
We're gonna go with a D. Started out
that's
hot,
generous.
but
Who's that?
north side.
North side.
Ashley?
I'm going to have to go with a D.
I agree with a D.
They're more average, all you know. What, Jerry Northside, what are you going to give them? F?
I can't give them enough. I mean, a C.
Incomplete.
A C. They won where they were supposed to. A C.
Well, they went. They batted 300 for the year, and they've been in the Hall of Fame in baseball. But in football, yeah, I'm going with a D. And that brings us to our first commercial break. We're live here from Whizz Mart, Chappy's Chicken on Gum Ranch Road. Make sure you come by and get all kinds of gas stuff, everything they got going on here. Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm Chris Rayner, your host. We got co-host Robert Farley, co-host Kevin Brown, co-host Ashley Mosley, co-host Jerry Allen, the prognosticator champion for the year. And, of course, Ashley, tell us who's behind the scenes.
Chris Hollywood, man, bless his heart, puts this thing together. Always good to have him. He's been a big addition to the radio station, but we got to get us a new light. We broke the light that's in the control room, the one that goes round and round and round, break time.
Round and
we'll get
round.
A new one. And we got to thank Chris Rayner, Kevin. Thank you for coming on, Kevin, and you too, Robert. Rayner, for handling the picks throughout the year. I know you're a busy guy since you're
I sure am glad
now.
Jerry's taking it over next year.
Jerry's going to take it over?
Well, guys, I hate to tell you, this is the final year. And when you go out the final year, the best thing you do is finish number one.
No, Rayner started this thing, so we're going to keep on doing it.
Hey, Jerry, what's your phone number again for this?
Oh, we ain't even give out the.
Yeah, let's do the trivia question and the phone number right now and tell them what it is.
All right, trivia question is who is the only Jacksonville High School golfer to win a state championship golf individual championship?
Jerry Allen.
That ain't Jerry Allen. Then we're going to give away that thing.
All right, repeat the question and your phone number.
All right. Question is, who is the only JHS golfer to win a state golf individual championship?
And the phone number is
910-358-5004. This right here, this prize right here, will probably get your wife stop being mad at you today through Tuesday next week.
It's not possible.
What if a lady wins?
And Jerry don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is, but it hit me in the head today. It's heavy. It's solid.
It's solid.
Nice looking.
If nothing else, just a paperweight.
It's Google's answer to Alexa.
Yes.
And once again, thanks to Need It Now for this wonderful trophy that Jerry got again. He's already said he's going to three-peat next year. Need It Now has moved. They're now located just across the street at 1109 Gum Branch Road, Suite 200, next to Carolina Comfort. They're veteran-owned with a female staff and expanded facility. They can continue to offer embroidery, engraving, awards, screen printing, more at a price that is affordable for schools, churches, sports teams, and business apparel. Need It Now in a new location, 1109 Suite 200 Gum Branch Road, phone 910-938-0100.
If
you need it now, go to Need It Now and get it now.
That's right. Hey, Randy, don't forget, we're selling gas today, regular, at $2.60 a gallon, as long as we're in the building.
So I need to announce that?
Yeah.
You just did.
I did.
$2.
So jump right in when you can and hang on.
$2.60.
$2.60, yeah.
If you're riding around and you can't get out here, you need to call your friends up and tell them that the Whizz Mart here on Gum Branch Road is selling gasoline today. As long as we're here, and we'll be here at least another hour, for $2.60 a gallon.
Yeah.
And you can get it even cheaper if you're the first one to roll up in here and say you heard it on the radio.
Yeah.
Tell them that.
Yeah, first one to come in here and say, got to say it just like this. Freedom 97.1 is number one. I'll fill up your tank of gas, give you a meal to take with you, give you a tumbler, and you can fill it up with coffee or soda and take it with you.
Woo, doggies. Somebody's headed over here from Richlands right now, probably. Bolting through the county. So let's get back to
what's Coke and the Monster doing?
Coke and Monsters out front, giving away free samples of stuff and get some little good, knick-knack stuff and stuff like that. We got Frito-Lay here. Frito-Lay's giving away a cornhole board, a tent, and he said something about some jumping shooting machines.
Nice.
Kids or Boyd. Yeah, nice. Boyd, it's Frito-Lay. He listens to us every Friday. He goes to the football games at home. Yep. And he'll sit in the stands and listen to us on the radio.
And there's no delay with the radio, is there?
Right.
Y'all don't have to worry about Janet Jackson taking her top off or anything, so they didn't put a delay in.
Kevin Brown, how'd you get here today, buddy? You take the day off?
Car.
Are you retired?
I'm off on Fridays.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know you were off every Friday.
Take off and come in.
That's going to come in handy come football season.
Yeah.
Knowing that, I'm glad. Yeah.
So, Jerry, go over the schedule, buddy, for Cardinal next year. Football.
I'm trying to get it confirmed.
I don't think they've made schedules yet.
I know Coach Bo has. He told me what it was.
Well, they know it, but I don't think
I know we got Richlands. I think we got Topsail and West Carteret in the non-conference.
I know you got White Oak.
No, they're conference now.
Wanaka Swansboro's in our conference, along with the Greenville teams in New Bern.
Swansboro?
Yeah, Swansboro moved
up.
We
went by numbers. You want to make another fight out of it?
Well, that rivalry is going to be back again with White Oak and Jacksonville.
Well,
That's going to be.
well maybe the White Oak Jacksonville game will be the last game of the year. Hopefully they'll schedule it
probably
that
the first
way.
game of the year.
Well,
No.
they were still playing anyway, though.
Yeah, they were.
They were.
Yeah, I doubt they put a conference game first, though.
So Jacksonville and Southwest will not play next year.
Will not play.
No, they will not.
I'm sad about that.
Yeah. It's just gotten too out of whack. 700 kids and 1,400 kids.
Well, you got a new coach.
Got a new coach. He needs to get his legs under him a little, and I can see him adding them back later.
All you did was switch us for Havelock.
I think the first Southwest may have is Aiden Grifton, so that'd be a nice little trip.
That's
They're
nice.
a good barbecue place.
Yeah, that's
Go
good.
to on the way.
It will
Pete Jones.
Which they had a good year too. Aiden Griffin.
Oh, yeah, Aiden Griffin's a good
so
program.
so now the Richland Southwest game will be a conference game.
Yep.
Next
That
year.
probably will be the last game. I can see that happening in the conference.
It'll be weird not playing Jacksonville, though. You know, that's always a big time rivalry. We look for it on the schedule early, of course, but it has been kind of one-sided for the past several years. So I think
Who's that?
between Jacksonville and Southwest.
Yeah.
So
I don't
It's
know.
always tough
Those
to start
games
our
were.
season
I
off.
mean, what was it? 28-14 last year.
We'll
I mean,
call the coach. Call the dog. Dog.
that's not a blowout.
He's like,
28-14.
if I let them stay close, they'll play me again next year.
Well, no, Coach Bo, Coach Bo, out of all our conference foes, and Robert knows this, and Ashley does too. All the people we play in the conference, there ain't but one coach that when he's winning and the game's in hand, I call off the dogs. It's Coach Bo. Havelock won't. Newburgh won't.
Northside
Greenville
won't.
I mean, no. I mean,
Now, see, I seen y'all go in the Eastern semifinals and just put 35 points on poor old Havelock.
In the
and
second
just
half.
Beat them like
At
a
their
rented
place.
mule.
At their place. Yeah.
Let's move on to the next team, which is Swansboro, since you had mentioned that. And you had a $5 bet, something about Swansboro, I think. All right. Speaking of that, Rodney Beasley, I think, is going to be a very good coach there. He's got to change the culture there a little bit. He's working on that. He's done a lot of good things up there. Their new uniforms, helmets, things like that. But this year they went 0-10. His first year with him at the helm, it's going to take a little while to get their legs under him. So I would probably have to say I'm gonna give him a D because it's his first year, Swansboro. Even though he went 0-10, I'm gonna say D because it's his first year there. Trying to get things changed a little bit, get kids in the weight room, all that good stuff.
Got to have the horses, buddy. But the basketball team's doing outstanding.
Yeah,
and you imagine
some of their studs are playing basketball, not football.
Right.
And I was fixing to say that for any sporting football team to be good, you got to get more than just football players. If Swansboro had them basketball players, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then we got a caller, so I'm gonna get off the road.
Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, you might have a winner, chicken dinner. Robert, what would your grade be for the Pirates?
I give him a D. I saw him play against Richlands, and like you said, they're if he can stay there and keep everybody motivated, they're going to be in a tough conference. That's for sure. Football.
All right. Well, we got a winner calling in. A winner, Chappy's Chicken Dinner. Actually, he won a Alexa
All right.
Google something.
All right, who we got on the phone?
John Fortune.
John Fortune. Where you at, John?
I'm at work.
Where you work at, sir?
Here in Jacksonville, Nationwide.
Nationwide. Over there on the one on Western Boulevard.
That's the one.
What's the name of your agency, sir?
The Ashley Fortune Agency.
Ashley Fortune Agency.
I need to write that
How
down.
about that?
Ashley Fortune.
Actually, Fortune Agency make a great sponsor of Sports Talk.
They
All right,
would.
we got a trivia question right here. Who's the only JHS golfer to win a state golf individual championship?
Sinead Carter.
Ashley's name is Sanaya Carter. I'm gonna give it to you
Sanaya?
because you
Yes.
at least got the first letter right and the last name. All right. So you win this. What is it, Robert? A Google?
It's like a Alexis.
It's the Google Alexa.
Google
Alexa.
Yeah.
There you go. So are you married, sir?
Or
I
Siri.
am.
This right here will get you out of trouble for at least the next 3 days. So I'll call you back when the show's over with, and I'll find out how to get it to you.
He's holding
Sounds
on to
good.
that to make it part of the Valentine's package.
All right, man. Thank you for calling.
Jerry, that
Thank
reminds
you.
Have a
All
good
right,
one, John.
See you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Congratulations. Jerry, that reminded me, it's been a while back. I went to the Richlands White Oak football game, both of them undefeated conference game, and White Oak ended up winning that ball game. But I met a man there that told me to tell you hello next time I saw you, and I keep forgetting it. His name is Jim Joyner.
Jim Joyner, he's out of Richland.
Richland's
Nice guy. He actually keeps the listen, when I say a long time, I mean long time. That's back. Jim Joyner's been doing that since I was in college.
He told me to tell you hello, buddy.
Jim Joyner's a good man.
Mm-hmm.
He used to do their internet broadcast too. Him, Donnie Moretti, and some of the others.
That's right. Jim Joyner is a good supporter of Richlands High School, and
well, we need to tell Jim to get well soon because he's had a little health issue. Because I'm now running the clock at Richlands High School for him.
really
For foosball or basketball?
Basketball.
You gonna do football next year too?
I don't know. I did the play clock for him this year.
Yeah, it takes two people
The
to do that.
40-second play clock. Yeah, I did that for him.
A lot of places don't use them things. What do you? Want to play clock?
Well, funny story. I think it was the second home game, and Mike Kelly, AD, he called me. He goes, "Robert, can you run the 40-second play clock?" I said, "Well, never been a football referee, but I do know, kind of understand the rules a little bit." I said, "Look, my wife don't get to go to many games. She's at this game. She's gonna be mad as
You know what?
if I go sit in the press box run a clock." So I said, "I'll do it next game."
I was at, I went to the 74th Jacksonville football game, obviously, and I'm not trying to get any referees in trouble or anything, but I will say this: Jacksonville had an offensive lineman that was lining up all sides, and the referee went to Coach Bo and told him about it. He said, "You need to get this number guy here to back up a little bit because I'm gonna call it on him if you don't get him back on the line of scrimmage." So he did warn him.
That's good.
You know, instead of just
I like
throwing a flag. I do too.
I like it.
Like the proverbial sideline warning. That's pretty much a given, though. First one's going to be a warning, and then it'd be a penalty after that.
Yeah.
Finishing up with Swansboro, though, Ashley, 0-10.
F.
F.
They didn't win. Did they win a game?
No.
Well, they flunked then.
Kevin Brown.
He's got a point.
He does.
It's a pretty good one.
So you going with F then, too?
No, I ain't going to go that far.
D
I don't think
minus.
it's partially, but you know.
D minus.
I think if their coach can stay there and get it, give them a couple more
Yeah,
years. But like I say, they're going to be in a super tough conference now.
Well, you know, if you can, and all schools have done, if you just can create a little success, you know, 3-7, 6, and then go, 5-5, then people will come to want to be on the football team to make it better.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hallway. Like we
Yeah.
said earlier, you got to get some athletes.
That
that
one
maybe,
big kid that got playing basketball, man, he's got tight end written all over him.
That's probably one of the hardest things is to change the culture in the high school. You know,
The
to
school's
get
not
that
used to it.
program where it needs to be, where you have the kids that want to come out.
Right, want to
and
be a
play.
part of it.
Look, Coach
You
Bo
know.
did it when he took over.
Who?
You know, Coach Bo at Jacksonville.
no
they,
question about
their
it. He
first
sure
2
did.
years
Yeah.
might have won
0-10.
2 games. You know,
Phil Patchett, same thing, Southwest. You
Yeah.
know, Coach Bo, he instead of, rebuilding, they're reloading now. You know?
Yep.
And what if they'd have pulled the plug on, Coach Williams after 2 years with those first 2 seasons and not give him a chance, You got to have at least, I'd say, 3 seasons to get a program
I
started.
think so, too. It's like college. Maybe
Some
3 or
in
4
college
Well,
now, man, they're pulling the plug
you
got to
start at the middle school level. I hope he's been
Feeder
in-
school,
I hope
yeah.
I hope he's in the middle schools and talking to these kids and helping the middle school coaches to run his system. So when they get there, they already know the system a little bit, and you work on skill development.
That's why Tarboro is so good. Them little boys in midget league, boys go football, 7, 8, 9 years old, and teach them the system right off the bat.
That's why Havelock's so good.
I think
They have a great youth program.
They start them out early.
And speaking of culture changing, we're going to the Dixon Bulldogs.
What
our-
else you
our
giving away?
next team. Dixon, new coach Kelly
Where's
Davis,
Hollywood at?
going into his 3rd season this coming
What's
year.
that?
So
What's
it's
that?
the
Coffee
second
maker?
yes. All right, guys. I need another trivia question or something, some kind of question. We're gonna give away an espresso, something.
Espresso.
It's nice and big. It's right here on the screen.
That's what
It's,
she said.
Get you some espresso, homemade espresso machine. Give us something, Robert. Give us something.
I got one for you. Are you on? You got to do one?
Yeah, I got one.
Knock it out.
Now, don't make it easy one now. This is a big one.
That's
Okay.
what she said.
Who won the? What was the final score of the national championship football game between Ohio State and Notre Dame? We need the final score.
That's easy.
That's not easy if you didn't watch the game.
I could just Google it. Hey, if you had this
Google.
machine
Yeah,
right
if you
here, we
had this
gave away
machine.
earlier.
Well, look
you
at this.
could have
Look at
done
this.
it.
Look what you're
You
giving away.
don't think my man could have Googled for that? Who won the?
You could just
state
say
title?
machine. Who won the game? What's the score?
All right, got to call in. Got to call.
Give him that
Got to
number.
call Jerry's
Again.
number.
Please give him that number.
All right, we're going to take a break first.
Are we ready to take a break?
Yeah.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back on Sports Talk. Oh, hey, squirrel. I was asleep there. Time for our Hurricanes Watch. Hurricanes Watch is sponsored by Downey's Heating and Air Conditioning. Jason Humphrey in the game. If you haven't been going to see the Hurricanes, you've been missing out because, man, they are on fire. They had a blockbuster trade, Kevin. Can you pronounce all them names? Something, Rantanen, Mikko Rantanen. Yeah, Jordan Hall or something Hall. Taylor Hall.
Will they be able to sign him? Because I know he's only here for this season unless they re-sign him.
Yeah, I mean, I would think, depending on what he does the rest of the season, if he's sniping like, he was everywhere else. Every season he's had over 50 points.
Didn't he have a goal last night? Or
every season he's had over 100 points, yeah.
I think he had 2 goals.
No, he had 1 goal last night.
Last
night. So, Rantanen would definitely be a good addition to keep on the payroll if they can, depending on what they do. I mean, they got this help this year to try and make a Stanley Cup run.
Is their goalie back?
Goalie's back and looked good the last 2 starts.
Is that Freddie?
He had a 4-0 shutout Tuesday night against the Rangers at New York in the Garden, Madison Square Garden. Shutout? Yeah. I think he's the earliest to get to that. Yeah, the youngest. Right. And last night they honored him before the game. He didn't start last night. They had Pyotr Kochekov. He's not from around here. No. They had him in goal, and Hurricanes won 3-2 against the Chicago Blackhawks. And right before the game, though, they honored Anderson. Were you watching on TV? I think it was his 500th game. 500th, no, something like that. 500. I can't remember what exactly it was, but or 300th game actually in goal, something like that. But yeah, he's doing really well. It might have been 500. It don't take long to add hockey seasons up, does it? When you start playing in September and end in June, there's not much of an off season. So the Canes have won 6 of their last 7. The only one they lost was a 3-2 overtime loss last Saturday to the New York Islanders, and they shouldn't have lost that one, but they did. So they'd won 4 in a row, lost that game, and now they won 2 in a row this week. And the Canes will be home Saturday if anybody wants to go against the LA Kings.
Yeah, they got a NC State plays at 1:30, so they got to flip the
oh, they play basketball at 1:30?
Yeah, we have a basketball game at 1:30 against Clemson.
And NC State also plays Sunday there. Did you know that?
No, we don't play on Sunday.
Hockey.
Do they play tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Do they play tonight?
State?
No.
Hockey.
No, they play tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Well, here's the thing. If you're going tomorrow night, come on over to 4111 Gum Branch Road. Gas is $2.60 a gallon. And if you come and tell us Freedom 97.1 is number 1, we'll give you a free tank of gas, give you some food.
Some
you
fiddles.
can box it up for you tomorrow's game.
Jerry,
Some
we need to
fiddles.
get
And a
you
tumbler.
your commercial schedule ended December 31st.
Okay.
You need to buy another commercial schedule, and
There
we
you
put
go.
it on the radio.
There you
That's
go.
right.
And
I
tell
noticed
about
when
it.
I was reading the sponsors that we're
Yeah.
missing you, Jerry. Sports Talk loves our
That's a
Whizz
typo.
Mart Chappy's Chicken.
Actually, that's got to be a
sponsorship.
typo.
What's that?
That's a typo.
What's the typo?
What, that it's not in there?
They're not on there.
Obviously,
No, it ain't.
obviously a mistake somewhere. So, LA Kings tomorrow night. If you want to go up to Raleigh, we went last night. Great game, great atmosphere.
$2.60 a gallon tomorrow
Yeah.
No, today.
Today?
While
Yeah.
we're here.
while we're here. Okay.
Yeah, while we're here. $2.60 a gallon. While we're
Yeah.
here. Yep.
And thank you again to Downey's Heating and Air for sponsoring our Hurricanes Watch.
We got all kinds of giveaways. We
Tell
ain't
us some more
started.
about 'em.
Well, this one right here, Robert gave us a bad question. So,
I
Robert, I
like
got
that
another question.
Has,
Ready for this
has
one?
anybody called in yet?
No, you ready for this one? Here's the
Ashley's
question.
sitting on my thing.
Here's the question.
I just
Okay.
noticed what
Everybody
that mic looks
knows
like, or that trophy
that-
looks like from behind.
Damon June has went to Carolina as a running back.
Yep.
Who's the player before him that was a running back for Jacksonville High School that went to play for UNC as a running back? There you go. That's
The only
trivia
one?
question.
That was in the
Number two.
80s, early 80s, Jerry. Who's
Yeah.
going to know that
Yeah.
one?
That's why it's trivia. Hold on. Got a call.
Here you go, Jay.
While Jerry's not listening, I'm going to tell.
It's a work call.
We have a very spirited debate back and forth between Southwest and Jacksonville over the years. About who's got the best program and all that. And we were talking the other day, and I think Bob Warlick jumped on it about Jacksonville's the king now, and Southwest's been the king before. And I told Bob, I said, Bob, I hope Jacksonville wins the state championship next year. I really do. That way they'll have half as many as Southwest. So that wasn't our winner, Jerry.
No, they hung
All right.
up
Well,
on
tell
it.
us about them other giveaways you were starting to tell us about.
Oh, we got a cornhole board from Frito-Lay. We got the shooting thing where it's got the goal and it comes back to you from
Pop a shot.
Frito-Lay. We got a tent. We got what you got, Robert?
I got a Corona cooler.
We got a Corona cooler. We got plenty of mugs. We're gonna give it away today.
Just give it away. Now, Jerry, let's let you chime in on that debate. Best football program in Onslow County history, Southwest or Jacksonville?
Jacksonville.
Why?
They just
Did you hear what I said about I hope they win the state championship next year? I really do. That way they'll have half as
Okay.
many at Southwest.
so. I mean, if you want to go like that, that's fine. But I mean, Jacksonville when they did what they did early on, you got to remember they were 4A.
Yeah.
They were the
That's
smallest.
because they have more kids.
They were the smallest 4A in the 4A division.
Wait a minute. So you're saying when you play a team that you have less kids in them, that makes a difference?
Do what now?
When you're saying you're playing a team that has a lot more kids than you, that makes a difference?
You said who's the best in the county.
No.
I'm trying to do.
You were saying they were the smallest 4A, so they were kind of at a disadvantage with the other 4As.
That's right.
So when you're playing a school that might be double the size of you, you're at a disadvantage?
But there's no doubt.
Okay. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is that Jacksonville was successful in them years.
They were.
Okay. Then the realignment came.
And we're an injured quarterback away from winning 2 state championships.
Yeah. So then the realignment came with Northside.
Uh-huh.
So Northside
Sucked people away.
And they were very successful.
And, of course, Southwest did in the late 70s took some away also.
But over the years, I'd say Jacksonville. I mean, I would. I mean, just like if you were in Craven County, would you say New Bern or Havelock? That's a good discussion.
I'm a Jacksonville high school graduate, but if you look at the state titles, I think it would have to be Southwest. They've won a lot more state championships than Jacksonville has, Jerry.
Well, if you go state championships.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't base it on championships. I would just.
You just say, I mean, who's the best? I mean, I say Jacksonville. You say Southwest.
Now, personally, we're going to take another commercial break. This is our short session. We'll be right back on Sports Talk.
When was Jacksonville
Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Rayner. Co-host Kevin Brown, co-host Robert Farley. New co-hosts have joined the fold here. Tell us who you guys are.
Ashley Garrett.
And Samaj Thompson.
And tell us your Oh, we have a trivia question, guy. Hold on. Who we got on the line there, caller? Hello.
Hey, it's Brian Bailey.
Hey, Brian Bailey.
What's up?
Yeah. What was the question again, Jerry? Who's the only other Jacksonville High School running back to play at Carolina? Who is that, Brian Bailey?
That would be Eddie Colson.
Eddie Colson. Yes, it would. From 1981, I think he graduated. 81 was his last year. He was actually not on the state championship team in 82, was he? He was the year before, yeah. All right. Well, thank you for calling in, Brian. Thank you for listening to Sports Talk. And what did he win? Tell him what he won again. Espresso machine. So Brian Bailey will be all hopped up
Brian
next time we see him.
Knowing Brian, are you an espresso machine guy, Brian?
I'm not an espresso machine guy, just regular coffee.
Well, I'm sure you can do something.
It'll
with
do
it.
that too.
Yeah. Put you a little of that high potency espresso in there, and it'll wake you up, get you through the day. Well, thank you for calling and listening to Sports Talk, brother.
No problem. Appreciate y'all.
All right, take care. All right, Jerry, we got another trivia question we're gonna do. If you find something else, go to the beer cooler there and see if you can get a case. I got an uncle that'll call it on that. All right, tell us again who you guys are,
Ashley Garrett.
and what do you do, Ashley? What is your relation to the sports world?
I do cheer.
You do cheer, so you root the teams on, and you do like gymnastics too, don't you?
I do competitive cheer and high school cheer.
Don't you do gymnastics too?
No.
I thought at the place y'all were at. What place do you guys do your thing at?
Which one?
Well, I know Richland's high school, but
Step Ahead.
yeah, because she was in with us before.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And we'll have them back on in April
yeah.
during spring break. She's not missing
Down
school
with that.
to talk to you on the radio.
And who is our other co-host here?
My name is Samaj Thompson.
And what do you do for a living?
I play football for.
Not for a living yet, but
I played football for Richlands High School.
okay.
4 years.
What grade are you?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior this year,
Yes,
so you won't be back next year.
No, sir.
Gonna play anywhere on the next level or anything?
I'm not sure.
Probably not. Not looking to continue in college. It's
Richlands
a
had
tough gig, man.
Richlands had a great year this year.
They did.
This past year, 9-2.
Great year.
It did. They have not lost to Southwest in 5 years.
Yeah, Samaj hasn't lost to Southwest since he's
Ever.
been there, or
Ever.
Ashley.
No, we lost my freshman year.
Oh, you did. I didn't.
But he was on JV and I was on varsity.
We didn't.
so.
No, we didn't play him my freshman year. Actually, COVID.
Yeah.
That's right. Didn't
So
play.
technically, Pat Bird has never lost to Southwest.
He has not.
Has a 5-game non-losing year streak to Southwest because we didn't play him for 2 or 3 years. It's like COVID jumped in on every year.
But Samaj was a defensive end at Richlands, number 63. If you went to any of the games, he led the team in sacks and second in tackles. Didn't play much. He played a few offensive snaps on the offensive line, but mostly played defense. And Samaj is a great in track too. He's a discus and shot put.
Thrower.
He's
Are
been
you
this-
are you doing indoor track?
No, sir.
And I don't know why they call it that. It's just winter track.
I don't think
Nobody,
Richlands
nobody
has
has
indoor
an
either.
indoor track.
Richlands doesn't have indoor
We
track.
do, but they don't have discus, and
They
I
don't.
and that's what I'm really good at.
So you're gonna do spring track though?
Yes, sir.
We were looking at and kind of doing report cards for some of the teams. Now, what is Richlands? What's everybody there? What's their feeling about the new conference that we going in?
They're okay with it. I mean, it don't really matter to us. We
There's
play
gonna be
who we
some
play.
good rivalries in that conference.
Yeah, we play Jacksonville,
Non-conference. Yeah.
non-conference,
You get to play Havelock. That'll be a
in
lot of fun.
conference. That's scary.
Everybody's talking about the about Havelock ruling the roost, of course, in football, and I'm sure they will at least to start with, till everybody gets caught up a little bit. But really, in the other sports, I mean, Havelock doesn't have like a powerhouse basketball team or baseball team or anything. I don't know about their ladies' sports. Do you know anything about them?
Their
From being around
girls basketball has been pretty good in the past. I think they've missed off a couple years. I know I think their wrestling is really strong, Chris.
Yeah, that's right. They do.
They've been real strong in wrestling, but they're competitive in other sports, not like football. Football's king in
Yeah, that's the
Havelock.
king of Havelock.
Sort of like
Um,
Southwest. Southwest football was king for a long time, but now their basketball program is really strong.
Yeah, Havelock has their masseuses and they have their housing for all their players and stuff. No, I'm kidding. They don't. do that. They just seem like they do that. All right, when we get you back on, I'll get you to do it. You're gonna have to tell us what it is. Cornhole board will be our next prize. We'll do that in just a few minutes.
That's donated by Frito Lay.
Looking at you guys' schedule with Richlands, from Richlands, y'all started out 1, 2, 3, 4. What was it? 7, 8, 0.
Yes, sir.
And then was
Lost to
White Oak the final? No, that wasn't your conference final. You played White Oak and then ended up with Dixon, right?
Mhm.
So you guys were 8-0 going into the White Oak game.
Yes, sir.
Is White Oak kind of turned the corner a little bit as a program? I mean, they conference champions, the last 2 years, and you guys tied them the third year before that.
Yeah, I mean, they've grown a lot, and
You guys just had a few minute penalties and turnovers against them.
penalties and not being in the right place sometimes.
Mistakes are crucial in the big games,
Yeah.
because that was for the conference title. Whoever won that would have won the conference title, and White Oak did. Looking at the record overall, 9-2, I'd have to give them an A for Richland.
I'd say A.
Oh yeah.
It's been building. I've been following Richlands football since Ashley became a varsity cheerleader, and every year we've gotten better. The first year it was a struggle.
0-8.
Yeah, we were 0-8 the first year,
Lost every single game.
And then the last 3 years we've made state playoffs.
Was 0-8 the COVID year?
No.
Why did they just play 8 games that year?
Oh, we missed 2 because we had COVID.
Oh, because other teams couldn't play or something like that. Yeah, that's
Southwest.
right. Southwest was one of them. You're right about that. I remember that now. Looking back at the record, Coach Bird took over for Gene Boley in 2020, which was the COVID year. They played the abbreviated spring schedule, went 3-2.
Yep.
The next year was 0-8, as you said, then 6-5, 7-4, 9-2.
Yep.
So this year you're looking at 10 or 11-1 and keep progressing.
We had about 26 or 28 seniors. So
Ouch.
Their JV was 500 last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a rebuilding year for Richlands. I believe they've lost their quarterback. They lost most of their skill players on the outside. Well, they do have a couple coming back, but
our line.
Like I said, Coach Bird had them 8-0. They finished 9-2. They beat Southwest 2 in a row. Never lost to them. Coach Bird did. Where did they put the statue at? You're right, 3-0.
What statue?
The Pat Bird statue. Don't they have one out there somewhere?
It's in the making.
Put it right in the end zone like the movie Varsity Blues and Bud Kilmer holding the football up there.
I'd say it's going to be pretty cool next year that Southwest and Richlands, like you said, should be the last game of the year.
I would hope so.
Because they're in the conference now with you guys.
Yeah. Now, in that conference, who do they pair Havelock with for the last game? Like, it probably will matter the first year.
Maybe
West Carteret, maybe?
West Carteret or Croatan, I would think.
Yeah, because they're more of a – they've been playing West Carteret, for years anyway.
Well, a lot of West Carteret players somehow end up transferring to Havelock.
And I was just getting ready to bring that up, that I'd heard that rumor. Now, so West Carteret might be a nasty little rivalry because some of their players have left to go play at Havelock.
Yeah.
I'm sure they moved to Craven County.
Sure.
Like you're supposed to and everything. So I'm sure that's what's going on. All right, what's the other schools we have not done yet? We did Swansboro, right?
We haven't talked about White Oak.
Well, I'm saving White Oak because they had a really good year. Dixon is one.
Yeah, you were starting to talk about Dixon before we went to break.
Dixon won a couple of games this year. Coach Kelly Davis has kind of got him headed in the right. He's changing the culture down there too.
Yeah, Jerry Allen's brother-in-law is I believe the offensive coordinator there.
At Dixon?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
His brother-in-law?
His brother-in-law, yep. I think it's his brother-in-law.
Dixon started out losing 49-23 to East Dupin. That game was a lot closer than that earlier in the game, I remember. They lost their first 2, then won over South Lenoir. Ended up picking up another win over Swansboro later in the year. So finished 2-8.
Well, I think they lost a couple games early by one possession or one point.
Yeah, they lost several games close. Trask, they lost 36-35. They lost North Duplin, who's always been a good 1A program. I think they're still 1A. They may be 2A.
They're 1A.
Are they 1A?
Yeah.
Lost to them by one score. Then lost by 2 points to at West Carteret. That game was 51-49. A lot of points in that game.
Defense optional.
So they had several games where they were right there, close to winning those games and being a 500 team. I'm gonna give them a C for the year because I think their program's headed in the right direction.
Yeah, you got to go at least a C plus, just because they are getting better each year.
Yep.
Which that's what you want your program to do. Keep improving and building that culture like we talked about before.
And I'm looking at it, so I get it that way. But Robert, that was a great memory you had there to remember that they had won that game against South Northern, had 3 straight losses by one score less, and then won another game. So they're looking at possibly a 5-game winning streak.
The reason I know is because you had him on the Sports Talk, and he was talking about they had lost a couple games that really could have won. One play here or there could have turned around. So, and
that's the thing. Once you get the program competitive again, it's like the Carolina Panthers. They're competitive again. They need to start learning to win those tight games.
He's getting the culture better, and you can tell it because, like I say, they've gotten better every year. I think he's been there 3 years, maybe.
Yep. Now, what would you grade their record at?
I'll give him a C minus.
C minus. I'm looking at Coach Davis. This will be his third year coming up. So he's had just 2 years actually there. Great resource if anybody wants it. It's Carolina Preps. You can go and pull your team up, and it has their whole history on here. It's awesome. Chris Hughes does a great job with that website, and it's a great thing, a reference to look over some of the teams. Now, who have we not hit yet in the county? Obviously, White Oak. Let's go with White Oak then.
Lejeune.
Yeah, I'll have to find them separately because I don't think they play in the other county teams anymore. It's so tough to do that, getting your fans over to the base that a lot of teams just don't play them anymore, or at least over there. White Oak started out 68-18 over East Carteret, then lost to Jacksonville in a tight one. That was a great game. Great atmosphere from what I heard from everybody. 15-9. Then reeled off a lot of wins. Reeled off 8 straight wins to push their record to 9-1 for the season, including, beat you guys there at Richlands for the conference title. Then they finished up over Swansboro 46-7 to win the conference title. Finished 9-1 and heading to the playoffs. Then ran into a very good Lee County team.
They got to get the next step for White Oak. They got to win a playoff game.
It's kind of the Lamar Jackson thing.
They've won. They shared it 3 years ago. They won it outright last 2 years, but they've gotten upset both times at home in the state playoffs. So they got to kind of get over that hump. But I think Coach Bird will get them over the hump.
Winning the conference title and hosting the game, you want to win that first game.
I'd say next year they're going to be a little tougher conference.
Yeah,
a little more battle tested when they hit the playoffs.
So they'll be playing New Bern and man,
Jacksonville
and the Greenville schools
and the Greenville schools. Yeah,
that's a haul up there too.
Be a little harder conference than what they were in.
Yeah, Richlands was able to dodge that Greenville thing, and they're actually the closest to Greenville, but because of the numbers, they were lower on the.
Yeah, well, Richlands will have, like I say, they've already played East Duplin and Southwest non-conference for years.
Oh yeah,
so they'll add them in their conference along with Northside Jacksonville will be there. So I don't think Richlands has played them in a while.
It's been a while since they were all in the same conference. Yeah,
but so like I say, it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. Like I say, Havelock's definitely the top team in that new conference. If it's finalized, hadn't been finalized yet. They're on the second round of this, so we still got to wait till it gets final. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be final.
I remember Richlands and Northside were in the same conference back in the old East Central days. One year you had the final 4 teams in the East were all from the East Central.
I remember
That's how strong they were. You had East Duplin, East Carteret was in it then. Northside and Southwest were the final 4, and Richlands was the 5th one out because they lost to one of those 4 teams the week before. So no East Central team that year lost to anybody else.
I remember the year that Southwest was lost one game and didn't make the state playoffs because they had a 3-way tie and they lost the draw. Remember that? I don't know.
Coin toss, I think we lost out on.
I don't know what year that was, but
one time we were talking about it before, and I think Chris Miller texted me. I think they actually lost a couple games that year.
Okay,
but I think it was one conference game.
Loss.
And they were basically playing undefeated in the conference, playing East Duplin last game of the year, ranked in the top 10 in the state, and lost the game and didn't make the playoffs because of a coin flip.
Hey, Samaj, what was your number one memory from this year's football season?
I'm gonna say playing White Oak, just because going to that game, we didn't know for sure, but we had a thought in our head, and just getting to at least continue playing with my friends and all my teammates for a few more games, even though we had lost that game. And it was one of the biggest games of the year regarding the playoffs.
So you're finished up in the spring with your track guys and stuff. So you still got a lot of your teammates you'll be doing stuff with.
Yes, sir.
What's your plans after school?
To go to college.
Do you know where, or just looking right now?
Hopefully UNCW.
UNCW. Do you surf?
No.
Because it's a good place to surf.
Does he look like a surfer, Chris?
Everybody likes to surf.
I can swim.
If you ever do it, you'll like it.
He says he can swim, but I can't confirm that. But
I know one of the best coaches in the history of the state that started down there, and that's why he went to UNCW to surf. Phil Padgett.
Oh, yeah. I knew he was a big time surfer.
When we were down there shortly after him, like about 5 or 6 years after. And, man, they took back then they had very few parking meters on Wrightsville Beach. They took them up after Labor Day, and it was on. After class, took a left and went to the beach. Still had a lot of warm weather. So I think the only one we haven't done, we did Jacksonville already. Oh, we haven't done Southwest yet.
I haven't done Southwest.
Let's see. Come on, baby. Come on, computer. phone, computer.
They had a
whatever you wanna
tough
call it.
year, Southwest. did.
Yeah. Started out with Jacksonville, lost 28-14, then lost 25-0 to Richlands. I remember one year Richlands won the game 3-0 back in '88 or something.
That was Mike Ryer kicked that
Yeah,
field
kicking
goal
the
in
field
Rock
goal. So
Creek.
that was the last shutout before that. Wow.
I believe so.
So great job by the Wildcats there, 25-0 win. Then lose to White Oak 30-28. Get a win over Goldsboro 55-12. And Goldsboro just they're pitiful. They're bad.
Yeah.
That game was at home. Did you go to Goldsboro last year, Kevin?
Yeah.
Remember the end of the field where when they scored they would not kick the extra point on it.
Oh yeah.
The neighborhood was so bad beyond the goalpost. If the ball went over the street, you didn't
Never
get it back. Yeah. So you would score on one end and they take it to the other end to kick the extra
I
point.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is
Mr.
crazy.
Leland Brown, Kevin's dad, ref for years, and told us
I know
that they used to do that too. It used to be a lot worse, but they still just you kick it one end. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Lost the first 3 conference games and finished 1-5 in the conference. The only conference win was over South Lenore. The North Lenore game, I didn't go to that one. That was that Deep Run. We had something that weekend. Did you go to that one, Kevin?
Yeah.
Was that one? It was a close game. Did it just at the end not kind of?
Yeah, exactly. It was close. We felt like we had a chance the whole game, and then right there at the last, kind of got our legs.
I believe that's the first time North Lenore's ever beat Southwest.
No, they beat them years ago.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it was Coach Dempsey's first year. He went 3-8. I'm pretty sure they beat
Might
the
want to
second.
Google that.
I can check right here in just a second. The next week though, they had the Lenore County run there. They had North Lenore, Kinston, and South Lenore back-to-back 3 games, back-to-back. Losing to Kinston in the middle, 26-17 at the time looked like, oh my gosh. But look at what Kinston did in the playoffs, man.
They went to the 4th round.
Yeah, the Eastern semifinals.
Yeah, they did.
And run up on a good Whiteville team. Let me see. I can do all-time records. What are we looking up to see if they lost to North Lenore?
Yeah.
First of all, y'all give us your grades on what you think Southwest was this year.
Go ahead, Robert. I'm going to have to think just a minute here.
I'm going to have to go with a D. Just
I'm
the overall
going
record.
a D.
Yeah. I think it was 2015 because his first year inherited kind of a low number of players. North Lenore, nope, they won that game. So it may have been the first one. That was the year I was thinking, but I can't recall.
Chris Miller would know that, but I remember seeing or reading that.
Yeah, Chris, if you're listening out there, I know you usually listen. Check it out for us and see if Southwest had ever lost to North Lenore before this past year. Actually, that year, the one I was thinking of was South Lenore.
I tell you what, there's a lot of people here at Whizz Mart on Gov Branch Road. Is this a Walmart or is this a gas station? I mean, there's a lot of people here at this gas station right now.
Oh, this is bigger than Walmart, man.
No, we need a trivia question.
Find us a question while we're chatting. All right, well, come up with one with us while we're chatting about
Ashley,
stuff.
we need a trivia question. You got one?
Okay.
No.
Let Jerry have the wireless mic just a second.
Trivia question?
And then give your number again.
All right. My cornhole board.
Is it just one or is it the pair?
It's a pair.
It's a pair.
For Frito-Lay. Nice one. You can use that to go with your games and stuff.
That's right.
You go to. Trivia question.
I can't win, though.
There you go.
Oh, I got one.
Who was the head coach of the Jacksonville High School 4A men's golf championship?
Ain't nobody going to get that one right.
There you go. Who was the head coach?
Do you know who it was?
Yes, I do. Who was the head coach of the Jacksonville High School men's state championship team of 1986? Get you some.
And give him that number again.
Did he coach another sport?
910-358-5004 is the number. 910-358-5004. Yes, he did.
Okay.
He was a 2-sport coach.
Okay.
Yeah, there are very few that coach just
golf. He was awesome.
What was the other sport he coached? Can you give us some
It
more
was
hints?
not basketball.
Okay.
How about that?
All right.
Because of the way the seasons work out with golf being in the spring, there's a lot of football coaches that like to do. Phil always loved doing that. Coach Padgett, he would coach football, and then he liked being the golf coach because he'd go play while they were playing.
Yeah, I played golf in high school. I remember my junior year, we had like 7 or 8 golfers, and you had to qualify to play because you only play 6 at a match day.
Mm-hmm.
And our football coach, John Green, was the golf coach, so I was number 7 that week.
Yeah.
Had a bad couple holes, so I get to play golf with the golf coach. And guess who we were playing golf with?
Who?
Pat Dye, who was the East Carolina
East Carolina
football
coach.
coach.
And was at Auburn too before, wasn't he?
Yep, I got to play golf with Pat Dye.
Well, you look at the
Pretty cool.
numbers there, and you were talking about you had like maybe 8 players, but only 6 of you could play.
Yep.
The pros and cons of that is your team is better. The cons are you may not be the one playing that day if
Right.
you don't grade out.
But
the pros and cons of the small school is you may only have 5 or 6 golfers.
Yeah.
Everybody plays, but you may have one guy shooting 120.
Talk about nervous playing golf with Pat Dye. You know?
I imagine. Have you played in any of the celebrity tournaments that
Yeah,
they
I
used
played
to
in
have?
a few. Yeah.
Did you ever play at the one on the base they used to
I
have?
did. I played with Jim McMahon.
I remember you saying that. Yeah. So does he really play barefooted?
He does. He plays barefooted.
He's different.
He's a great guy.
He's a free spirit.
Great guy.
You still got his number and everything? We can call him to get him on the show.
I don't think I have it anymore.
See, back then, it's been a while since they had that. Nowadays,
they still have it, but it's not here anymore. It's at River Landing in Wallace.
So they still have the celebrity one there?
Yeah, they do have a celebrity golf tournament there.
You remember years ago the one they used to have in Greenville, Michael Jordan one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they had a ton of stars come, but somehow they ended up losing it. And I was at Greenville Country Club there, and Jacksonville native Gordon Pell was the pro at Greenville Country Club, so he had his Jacksonville ties here. What topic we want to talk about? You want to talk about some state stuff? How's the basketball team doing?
We're not doing too good.
Like Carolina, just kind of floundering?
We're 9-11. I took Ashley and Samaj to the game last Saturday, and, of course, we got beat again. Played SMU.
SMU, they're decent, though, this year.
They're not bad. And then I'm going to the game Saturday. We play Clemson. Maybe,
How's Clemson looking?
They're 9-1. They're second in the conference right now. Duke's 10-0, and Duke doesn't look like they're going to get beat. They play. They got a big game this weekend. They play Carolina, your team.
Well, you saw what State did with Duke, man. That was impressive.
Yeah, that's played our best game. Still got beat by
They
10.
came out on fire. What was it? State was still leading at halftime, right?
Yeah, we were up by 2. Yeah,
and starting the second half, led, and then all of a sudden, what was it, a 19-0 run?
Yeah, they went between the end of the first half and the beginning of the second. Duke went on a 19-0 run. We recovered, came back, got it cut down to 2. I think either threw it away or missed a shot, and then we had to start fouling there at the end, so it ended up being a 10-point game. It was definitely our best game of the year for sure. So we're kind of struggling a little bit. We've lost a lot of close games, sort of like Carolina basketball. A lot of games come down 1 or 2 possessions, and you got to make a play or get a stop, and we haven't been able to do that. So we got to try to make sure we get in the ACC tournament right now. Where we're outside looking in because
all teams aren't making it now. That's right.
No.
They don't even have play-in games or anything?
No, there's only 16 teams make it, so 3 teams will not make it. Right now it's Miami, Boston College, and we're right there. So
now last year, did State have to win the play-in game to get in the ACC
tournament?
Oh,
yeah, we played 5
So look
days.
at how many games in
a
row.
5.
That was amazing.
5 games. Yeah, that was a great run. I think we're paying for that this year.
Well, there was a lot of people that said Keats was on the hot seat last year. I think he got him a couple more years with that run.
Oh, yeah, he got a nice raise and extension
to the
and a lot of
Final
bonus
Four and all
money
that.
for all that. Yeah, it was a magical run for NC State. It's been 35 years since we won an ACC basketball championship. So.
Well, you said they're playing Clemson tomorrow, and you're going?
Yeah, I'll be there. And then there's a hockey game. That's
Sunday.
always cool. No,
the Governor's Cup.
I think.
Or is it Monday?
No, the Hurricanes play Saturday night.
No, I'm talking about the State and Carolina.
They play. I guess they play Sunday. I think
it's Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
you ever been to that?
No. We went to the outdoor game the Hurricanes had 2 years ago, and should have stayed. Did you go to that?
I did not.
Should have come back the next day because I think that following Monday they had State Carolina play on the outside.
They left the ice up and
outside.
That would have been cool.
That would have been real cool.
And I remember so many of the announcers were talking about how that was the best venue they've seen for watching an outdoor hockey game because Carter Finley doesn't have a lot of extra unused space.
Right.
You're close to the field and the stands go up
You are.
vertically instead of like Carolina where it's kind of sweeping away,
Yeah.
So they said, and I remember we were in the upper deck about close to center ice, and it was a great view.
Yeah.
The people that paid all that money to be down low were looking through glass, and
Could
it was
you
tough
see
to
down
see.
low?
We didn't go down there, but I mean, I don't think it didn't look as good. Even going down to how the lower level. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll talk more about that when we get back. We'll be right back on Sports Talk. Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Rainer. We're live here
Turn them up.
on the
Good.
scene at the Whizz Mart Chappy's Chicken at 4111 Gum Ranch Road. Is that the address?
4111.
4111 Gum Ranch Road.
Once again,
What are you holding up there?
Once again, congratulations, Jerry Allen, champion, prognosticator, high school football 2024. He's already said he's going to three-peat, and he's going to give me Madam Lorraine's cell phone number.
Yep.
Pass that one to Ashley and get you
We got a
one.
trivia question again, Jerry?
Yeah, trivia question. Cornhole board. Cornhole board for Frito-Lay. We're going to do who was the coach of the Jacksonville High School Jacksonville Cardinal men's golf state championship? Call 910-358-5000.
Golf championship. The
State
coach.
championship, the coach.
You said that was an 82,
No, that
86?
was in like 86.
86.
And our last trivia winner won an espresso machine, and he's not an espresso guy. So if you call and had rather have the espresso machine, we'll give the cornhole boards to the other guy. If that's what you want.
We've already mailed the espresso machine with UPS.
Man, that was fast.
We don't
Did you
mess
really?
around.
You done mailed it?
We're
Got out of here.
We're champions here. man.
Wow. All right, let's do this day in sports history while we're waiting for our caller, and then we'll jump on the Super Bowl. How about that?
Super Bowl.
All right, we're just going to go around cattywampus here. Me and Kevin and Ashley, and, well, Jerry's done flitting around again, so he's left us. Yeah, I know he can't read, so that's why he wants to get up. He don't want to show, that he's illegitimate. He can't read. No, he's illiterate.
Illiterate.
He's
No.
signing
He can read.
autographs. What he's
He
doing.
just don't want to do no work. All right. This day in sports history, all this stuff happened on January 31st at one time or another. We're going to take it all the way back to 1920. The Quebec Bulldogs center Joe Malone sets the NHL record with 7 goals in a 10-6 win against the Toronto School for the Blind. The Toronto St. Patrick's at the Quebec Arena. 7 goals, 1 player. I don't know if that's ever been beat.
Probably not.
Probably not the way they play nowadays. All right, Brown.
1927 NL rules feature baseball Hall of Fame infielder Rogers Hornsby can't hold stock in the St. Louis Cardinals and play for the New York Giants, and earns 2,916 dividends on the same day.
On one day. Now, back then, the stock market, $3,000 in one day was probably like about $1 million nowadays.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
That's
money.
1927.
1927.
Yeah. All right, Ashley.
All right, 1941 and his 13th title defense, Joe Louis KOs Red Berman in the 5th round at Madison Square Garden in New York to retain the NYSAC heavyweight boxing crown. And Chris, I'll let you know, I do know what this stands for.
No, tell us.
New York State Athletic Commission.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay. Since I don't know, I'll go with that.
Hey, in 1948, an unprecedented three-way tie for the silver medal in the 500-meter speed skating at St. Moritz Winter Olympics. Americans Robert Fitzgerald and Ken Bartholomew and Thomas Byberg of Norway are equal on 43.2s. Finn Helgerson of Norway wins gold 43.1.
Oh, Finn Helgerson. They're newer there. Now, looking at that, back then they obviously didn't have the timing and video and the stuff that they have now. So they basically had these 3 dudes come so close, they just, everybody get a silver. I mean, they just didn't have the stuff, the modern day technology. Yeah. All right, this date in 1953, Major League Baseball's New York Yankees, Cleveland Indians, and Boston Red Sox retaliate against the St. Louis Browns' Bill Veeck for trying to relocate the team, scheduling the Browns to play afternoon games to avoid sharing TV revenues.
Nice.
That'll show you.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like Steinbrenner.
In 1966, in the Australian Championships men's tennis, Roy Emerson makes it 4 straight Australian title and beats Americans Arthur Ashe 6-4, 6-8, 6-2, and 6-3.
And, of course, the ESPY award that they do, the award for courage, is named after Arthur Ashe. And, of course, your coach Valvano won it years ago. And one of the best speeches ever, sports speech. I love the way he's talking about with all his ailments, the guys up there saying 30 seconds. It's like me with Hollywood. Like I'm going to listen to him. I'm just going to keep on going. Fido,
All right, 1982, the 32nd NBA All-Star Game at the Brendan Byrne Arena, East Rutherford, New Jersey. The East beats the West, 120-18. The most valuable player and the GOAT, Larry Bird of the Boston Celtics.
So you got Larry being the GOAT.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hey,
And there's some people said that before.
1982 U.S. Male Figure Skating Championship won by Scott Hamilton.
Little Scotty Hamilton. He looks like a little sprite, don't he? He's a little feller. What were you most?
I was going to switch because this one right here is right up my alley right here.
Okay,
We'll switch on.
knock that one out. I know now why you want to do it.
Oh, yeah.
If you say Commanders, I'm going to smack you in the back of the head.
1988, Super Bowl 22.
Oh, we even got the number right.
Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California. The Washington Redskins beat the Denver Broncos 42-10. The MVP of that game was Doug Williams, the Redskin quarterback.
And
I remember that game.
Who won the game?
The
Washington
Redskins.
Redskins.
The Redskins. All right, Ash. Oh, no, it's me. I'm sorry. In 1991, the Denver Nuggets, Michael Adams, became the shortest NBAer to get a triple-double. He was only about like 5'8".
Who?
Michael Adams, and got like a triple-double. I wonder what – and it could have been points, steals, and assists. It didn't necessarily have to be rebounds.
Spud Webb won the 5-7.
Yeah, but he weren't getting – he weren't
he
pulling down 10 rebounds
yeah.
a game, you know? All right, Ashley.
Where we at?
2009.
2009 Australian Open women's tennis. Serena Williams wins the 10th Grand Slam singles of her career, outclassing Dinara Safina of Russia 6-0, 6-3.
2015 17-year-old Lydia Ko of New Zealand becomes the youngest golfer in men's or women's golf history to be ranked #1 in the world.
Wow.
17. Wow.
Getting it. Now, let's go back to that tennis question. Would you say Serena's the GOAT in women's tennis?
She's up there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
She's up
the
there.
sheer number of titles, I think she's got the titles record. But it's a different era. I mean, I think it was more competitive like in the 80s and stuff. You had more that were not dominating, you know what I mean? They were all, a lot of them on the same level. So they were as good a player, but they just weren't just one of them.
I like that girl we talked about 2 months ago, Martina Hingis. Remember her?
Oh, yeah.
Got in trouble for doping, tested positive for cocaine after a tennis match.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
She
And she
says,
admitted to it. Remember?
I'm not using steroids. I'm using cocaine.
That's right.
There's got to be a clause in here somewhere.
Who did the last one? Was that you, Robert?
Yeah, it's your turn.
All right. In 2015, the Atlanta Hawks set a new NBA monthly win record as they moved to 17-0 for January. That's hot right there.
Yep.
I don't remember the Hawks having that run. But then again, I don't watch the NBA. With a 91-85 win against the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, that is actually shocking to me that they still have the NBA. 91-85 and they 17-0 in the month of January. That's a pretty good month.
In 2024, Caitlin Clark posts 35 points and 10 assists for Iowa against Northwestern, breaking the Big Ten all-time scoring record.
She can shoot it now.
Oh, yeah,
I'm looking
she
forward to
can
her
do it.
second season. Now she's got her feet wet.
She is responsible for 40% of the viewership of people watching women's professional basketball.
Now, wasn't there a number where the WNBA was outranking the NBA in viewership at one time? Some of their games?
It is right now, yeah. It was. Yeah,
Welcome
absolutely.
back, Jerry Allen, my buddy, the prognosticator champion.
That's easy for you to say. Buddy.
What's
Now,
up,
look,
guys?
one more thing about Caitlin Clark. Have you guys seen the video on Facebook? Yeah, of the girl shooting the free throw. Caitlin Clark's off behind her, between the free throw line and the timeline off to the sidelines. Well, this girl is the one that's guarding Caitlin Clark. So she shoots the free throw. She's got 2 free throws coming. After the first free throw, she sprints to Caitlin Clark and wraps her up, like Gardner. And they said, we know you're worried about her a lot, but you got to come shoot the second free throw. It has to go back. That just shows you the effect she's had on that game.
And that they don't make a lot of salary in the WNBA.
They make a lot more now than they did.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, where they make their money is endorsements, product endorsements.
Well,
and they were talking about how used to they'd have to take commercial flights and stuff. They didn't have charter flights for the teams. Now they have that stuff. But I think a lot of those ones that were in the league before her and Angel Reese are resentful because they're not the ones that brought it to the forefront. They had to have these young bucks do it. And that rivalry between her and Angel Reese is a big part of it, too.
And you think maybe it's different because they play in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
They don't play during regular basketball season.
And baseball's going on, but it is kind of a slower period. You know what I mean? All right, what y'all want to talk about next?
Well,
you want to talk about that big game
Jerry,
coming up
what
in 2
you
weeks?
want to talk about, buddy? This is your time. What do you want to talk about? Super Bowl?
I want to talk about you, Ash. I want to talk about you and Freedom 97.1. Guys, I've been in a relationship with Ash, and he's brought Hollywood on board. I've been in a relationship, Ash, me and you, going on 10,
And I want to
12
thank
years.
Did y'all date in high school?
Not yet. I want to thank you for one more thing, Jerry. I appreciate you getting the limousine back to us.
Yeah, Yeah.
You know,
I understand. I mean,
Long
my
story.
wife didn't like that.
The
but I
limousine
told her,
driver got locked up, pulled over for driving drunk. The highway patrolman wouldn't let Jerry drive because Jerry didn't have his license with him.
I don't ever carry him with me.
So
yeah.
they left it parked in the parking lot down there somewhere in Myrtle Beach. Somebody stole it, and they find it down in Jekyll Island, Georgia, somewhere.
Can we borrow that for the hockey game in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
You know, Ashland Freedom 97.1 actually came on board about the time Coach Bo started. You know, it was around that period of time. And Ashley doesn't understand how valuable you were.
Were.
Was or whatever.
And he's still here.
At that time.
How instrumental you were, yeah.
You know, you were part of the regrowing part of Jacksonville High School football with Coach Bo. And Coach Bo, a lot of times, speaks to me about the radio and the Freedom 97.1, about how valuable you carry the Cardinal program when they're away, and how valuable that is to his home base and stuff.
Right.
So
we got to thank Harry Brown for that, because when me and Harry first got together, the first thing he wanted to do was put Jackson High School football back on the radio. That's the first thing.
How many years has it been back on the radio?
Over 10. Like 10, something like 10.
I think we got on in 13 or 14.
Yeah.
Something like that.
About the time Coach Bo came out.
That's the first thing Harry wanted to do, and I've only missed 2 football games since then. And one of them was I knew Jacksonville was going to kill South Central, and you and Colt and Hollywood went up there. And the other one I missed was when White Oak and Richlands played, both of them undefeated. And couldn't do any of it without this man over here, Chris Hollywood, man. He's a Bob protege. He's very professional, does a great job, takes a load off of me doing this
and he's
stuff.
personal friends of Rick Dees.
Oh, yeah. How about that?
They, you know, but Ashton, what you do for the community and everything is just unbelievable, especially what you do for Cardinal football. And 2 visitors here, Brown and Rayner, can tell you they got a radio station that does theirs too, how valuable it is to them.
Oh, no, we like doing it, man.
It's
I love
unbelievable.
It,
So,
I like doing football.
So if anybody's out there, you're looking for something to do, you want to be a part of a team,
come get some free gas.
Come get you some Freedom 97.1 is where you want to be at. They do good things for all of the county, all of the city, and they promote everybody. So,
Jerry, we appreciate what you do too, buddy. I mean, you're the voice of the Cardinals, and you know that you may have to trademark that. Give him 6. Because everywhere we go, we're hearing it. We heard it up at Mike's Farm not too long ago. I think Hollywood was up there and heard you give him 6. And Ray Durham has mentioned it. And can't thank Chris Rayner enough either for, taking over Sports Talk Show. He's expanded it. A lot of people don't realize the work that goes into doing something like this.
It does. I prepare all week long.
I mean, you got to getting guests and
hope it's not raining. We're going to struck by lightning.
And
the key is to get a good guest that tells you everything you need to know.
Right, and especially keep it up with that prognosticating thing during football season. I mean, all the guys that participate in it, they're really competitive. Each one of them have played sports, and because of age or other responsibilities.
Well, who finished last in that? Shouldn't they get some kind of trophy too, or make them stand on?
Oh, we can do that. We'll take them one of these. I think everybody that was in it should get a tumbler.
And Ashley, Rayner always says he's down in the numbers because he always picks Southwest.
He does.
But you just remember this, Rayner. Most of the time, over the last 2 years, I've picked Dixon.
Well, that's your fault.
I mean, and I still win.
That's because you're.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
That's because your brother-in-law is the offensive coordinator, right, at Dixon. So you should show him some love.
Yeah.
Let's
all
see.
Right, guys,
it's hard to pick against your team, though. I mean, I can understand Rayner wants to.
Rayner would pick Southwest if they were playing the Panthers.
That's right. Well, that's a bad example.
Instead of a trophy, if we were giving away $1,000 and a trophy, would you quit picking Southwest?
We can get your hand on that thing. Look just like so natural holding that thing.
No, he needs food. Actually, he needs food coupons, not money.
Well, before we jump to the NFL, you asked, so I pulled up the stats here. Believe it or not, and this is he was in the mix the whole year. Harry Brown finished last because he threw some Hail Marys. He threw some Hail Marys there at the end of the year. He knew he had to catch up ground, and he knew he wasn't going to do it by picking.
When it gets the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season, it's hard to catch up for anybody.
But that means you just haven't done good the whole year, and you're trying to make up for bad performances.
So who was runner-up?
Sometimes you just can't make up for bad.
Runner-up was Bob Orlick.
Bob Orlick was runner-up. Okay.
Chris Miller was next. Jerry Allen was at 101 and 22, the only one to top 100, the century mark.
Madam Lorraine helped him out.
Now, Bob did pick some Hail Marys last week. He probably would have got 100. He wouldn't have called Jerry because they would have picked the same thing, but he would have got 100. Who did you pick in the final? What Eastern teams did you pick? Just Tarboro and another one? Wasn't it just two?
I picked Tarboro. I picked 71st because I didn't know the two guys
You
were
picked
hurt.
Jacksonville. Oh, you talking about the state championship?
State championship.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And
I
that's
picked
only,
71st.
if I knew the quarterback was hurt and the linebacker running back with the broke arm, I would have never picked him.
Yeah, especially West Charlotte like they were. I miss not going to the state championship games this year. We've done it the last 2-3 years. You didn't go either. Remember?
I don't.
We all had something that weekend.
Well, the week
that's
delayed.
right. They bumped it. And it was in
out a week.
I'm going to tell
Christmas
you,
family
I'm gonna tell you,
plans.
you're talking about state championship. To be honest with you, Havelock's down. Jacksonville's in the 8. I got Jacksonville next year going deep in the playoffs.
Well, you picked it right this year. You told me.
I told you before.
Before the season started, that Jacksonville will be playing in the Eastern Final.
I did tell you that. Yeah.
What you gonna tell me for next year?
I'm telling you, they got a good team.
I think they're going to win the state championship.
I don't know that they can win the state championship, but you remove Havelock out of the picture.
Well, it's Havelock's 5A,
Yeah,
right?
so you move them out of the picture. So that's, then we're just looking at people in our area, unless we got to go to a 71st early. But we should get a better seed if we finish high.
Well, I know, man, and I'm all about it, but it's going to be difficult to beat them teams in the West simply because of numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Those people got more talent, a bigger talent pool to choose from. So, but you never know.
Well, do you think going to 8 classes will change that Western domination a little bit, kind of get teams more evened out?
No. The Western is just different.
Eastern's just more spread out. I mean, you might not have schools for miles, and then in the West, Charlotte has 20 schools within a county.
The one that surprised me in the whole state playoff stuff was Mount Airy when they lost. I mean,
the Granite Bears.
That surprised me more than anything.
My biggest surprise this year was Kinston to go to the Eastern semifinals. Or were they in the Eastern finals?
How about Jay's Rose?
That's the one that really.
Jay's Rose.
Yeah, Rose. Well, Rose is in a really
Rose
really
was
good
2-8 in the regular season and won 3.
Seed.
They won 3 playoff games.
Yeah.
Against single seeded teams.
Yep.
One of them was undefeated.
Yeah, one of them was like the number 2 or 1, and 1, 2, or 3.
Wasn't that
Southern Nash, Northern Nash?
I think they beat CBA Aycock, didn't they?
No, that was Cape Fear.
Yeah, Cape Fear beat them.
CBA.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Jay's Rose beat the team from
Northern
Nash.
They beat Northern Nash
and Southern Nash.
Beat
both of them.
And then they went.
Beat that undefeated team from Durham. I can't.
The school, the funny, it used to be Northern Durham.
It used to be
Oh,
Southern Durham. Southern Durham.
The School of Meteorology or something. It's a weather school or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'll be here. Listen to everybody know. I'll be here till about 12 o'clock. Still giving away stuff and everything. So come see us again. We're at $2.60 a gallon, and got a lot of stuff to give away. So come see us.
Now, y'all want to talk about the Super Bowl a little now, or wait and do it next week?
I don't like either one of the teams. So you don't.
I've heard so many people say they really just do not care. Other than being in the little pool with the grids and the scores and stuff, they probably won't even watch it. They said.
Well, how did y'all like the college football playoff?
I watched the game.
I like the overall
the
process.
12 teams.
I like it a lot better.
The process is good, but the negative to it is if we play all year with 50 guys and only 40 go, them 10 that didn't go ought to have to pay the school back $30,000 or whatever. I mean, you can't say, hey, there's the best 12 teams when they're not the same 12 teams.
Well, how many of those 12 teams though actually had opt-outs?
All I can tell you
it was nowhere near as many as like the regular bowl games.
If they had only had 4 teams in it this year, like they did last year, Notre Dame nor Ohio State would have played.
They wouldn't have been in it.
They wouldn't have been in it.
But who was in it? Who was the number 1 seed?
Oregon.
How many opt-outs did they have?
They didn't have any.
Okay.
They didn't have
Who
any.
was number 2?
Number 2.
Georgia.
How many did they have?
They had one that was hurt.
They had a bunch.
I don't think they had opt-outs. They just had the
got
quarterback was hurt.
What I saw when I listened to it and watched all of it, the 2 that ended up at the end of the season playing for the championship had almost none.
Well, Oregon had none.
What do you mean going into the portal?
Yeah, going into the portal or whatever, not opting out or whatever it was.
On a personal note, it tickled me to see Oregon lose because Oregon was the one that had all the big NIL money coming from Nike. I mean,
no, Ohio State had $20 million in NIL.
Did they have more than Oregon?
Yeah.
Frito-Lay,
they had the number 1.
Yeah, Frito-Lay guy says the seating needs to change, which I agree with.
I think go ahead and go to
When you get
16.
12 guys, they need to go 1 through 12. It doesn't matter if you're a conference champion or what have you,
Well, and I think they need to go to 16 teams and not have buys. Well, look at how bad the buys did.
That's why I like high school football.
I love high school.
Well, the buys did bad because they were seeded higher than they should have been.
That's true, but just have 16 teams. That's a natural tournament. You
Well, they
don't
need
have
to
buys.
fix. It doesn't need to run through January 25th. That's just way too long.
What's that? Football season?
Well,
I wish
but
it run through
The
March.
college.
Do it like
The
the
college
NFL and
playoffs.
have where you play every week.
College,
You know,
yeah.
don't have
It's
2
just
weeks
too-
in between.
It's
Yeah,
just too long.
Started early.
I wish they do the Super Bowl in a
And
week.
everybody's
They do it.
complaining because I went to the national
Yeah.
championship game.
Yeah.
And it's on a Monday night.
Yep.
Everybody's complaining it's on a Monday night because they couldn't do it on the weekend because you had to have the playoffs for the NFL. So they're not going to mess with that. So they need to move it up.
I like what the guy from the principal of Richland, Sharp. I don't know his first name.
Okay.
He was on the show, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago, and he said, "Well, the answer is money." Now, what's the question?
There you go.
That was
Money.
Steve Clark.
That's
Steve
true.
Clark.
Steve Clark.
Yep.
That's right.
They
Well,
just need
now-
to move it up and be done by. We need to have college football finished by January 1st.
And as far as the Super Bowl, they got to have 2 weeks because you got the Pro Bowl in between and that flag football game that everybody's dying to watch.
Oh, yeah.
That is the biggest
I've never
joke.
seen it.
Kevin's a Redskins fan, and the biggest hit ever in the Pro
yeah.
Bowl was Sean Taylor,
Taylor.
wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, on that
Sean
punt.
Taylor.
Decapitated the guy.
He sure did, but he
And
looked
that,
like
changed,
he come out
that
of
changed
I
pro
can
football.
live with everything college football is doing because they're trying to promote the sport and everything. And, they're good and it's all about money and they're making it. The one thing I wish they would do would tell the referees when the guy goes show button or,
Yep.
shoots the arrow. Flag it.
unsportsmanlike conduct.
And because the reason why I say that is
Little
because
kids are
what the
looking
little
at
kids see,
Oh, you're
they're
seeing it
doing on
everywhere
Friday
now.
night,
Oh, yeah.
and now we're getting in trouble. They need to capture it there at the college level, and then go from there.
How you doing?
At the Eastern Finals, a team was down, I don't know, 43 to nothing or whatever.
Yeah, I
Had
saw
the guy
that.
they were playing with, got a first down. He jumped up, losing 40-some points, showboating and pointed at the end zone.
Yeah. Act like you've been there is what I say.
I love that NFL play, and I can't remember who it was. I think it was a guy for the Lions. Made a big tackle or something, and I think he got a face mask or something. And he was all showboating, and the guy for the Packers went and pointed to the flag laying on the ground.
And also talking about the playoffs, Notre Dame got in. They have no conference affiliation.
Yeah.
They have no conference championship game. They have a possibility to lose. And guess what? They won. They went there. They got the finals. They got $20 million for their final appearance. They don't split that with anybody.
Good.
Ohio State's got to split their money with their other
Oh, yeah.
With the big 47.
Big Ten or whatever you call that conference. So, it's not a level playing field.
That's the reason I like the high school game, because the guys are still young enough. They've not been spoiled or enticed. Not yet, anyway.
And then we got to
with
fix
the
this.
money.
The NIL, we got to fix it. They got to have a cap. You can't be paying guys $4 million.
I think $30,000. That's the
In
most
it-
you can get no matter where you're at.
NIL needs to be every player on the team gets the same amount of
I
money.
agree with you 100%.
Yep.
And
That's
it's like
right.
Coach Storm said, they need to put it into a trust till they graduate before they can touch it.
I look at the Georgia quarterback. He got hurt, so he couldn't play in the playoffs. So that hurt Georgia's chances for sure. So Miami offered him $4 million.
Yeah. And if you opt out,
He's going to Miami for 1 year to
Pay
get
the
$4 million. He
You
wouldn't
get
get that in
nothing.
his first year in NFL after coming off with a
Well, I
shoulder
don't know,
injury.
there may be some stipulations in his contract he's going to fulfill. Maybe stay more than 1 year. I don't
He can't.
know.
He's only got 1 year. He's a graduate student. So he's,
Okay.
I agree with that too, Jerry. If you opt out, that $30,000 you were going to get, you don't get.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right, one other Super Bowl issue let's talk about, because I've heard a ton of people request it over the years. What do y'all think about the Super Bowl being on Saturday night? I know it's traditional Sunday evening. Everybody's got to go to
well, the
work.
NFL is a Sunday game
Yeah,
for the
probably,
most
yeah,
part.
Yeah, but man, I love Saturday NFL games. When the wild card weekend, that's some of the best
We
football
just
you
need
see on Saturday.
President Trump needs to make a national holiday after on
On
Monday.
Monday, yeah.
Monday after the Super Bowl.
The time zone deal is the major issue.
But people
I
take it
like
off
the
anyway.
Saturday idea.
Well, you
I
could
do.
still have it at the same time on Saturday. Just you ain't got to go to work next morning.
Yeah.
For some reason, we like championships on Monday.
Well,
though.
most people don't go to work
College
on Monday anyway.
College
I
football
don't.
and basketball
I did.
championships are on Monday.
Once I got a little seniority, I took that Monday off.
Yeah.
Well, I
Start
go
the
to
Super
work.
Bowl at 3 o'clock. Don't you?
Yeah.
Which I know that messes
Or at
it
the
up on
latest,
West Coast
at the
or whatever,
latest
but-
4. If you start at 4, you're
Just
still
start
getting
it
a
earlier.
1. Yeah.
So it ain't so late wrapping up.
They say 6, and it finally gets kicked off about 7. 6:37 when they finally get it going.
Those people ain't gonna want to watch it on Saturday. They're gonna want to watch it on Sunday. So they don't want to go to work on Monday.
Well, speaking of
What are they gonna
Saturday,
do? Fire somebody because they don't come to work? Could watch Super Bowl Sunday night.
Yeah, but the game's over by 10. I mean, they started at 6:30.
oh, it
It's
don't
over
bother
by
me.
10.
I'm retired.
What I don't like is the Monday night championships, like the Final Four
Yeah,
national championship games. Usually starts at 9:30,
yeah, and they do that because of
and
the weekend.
it's done at It's over at midnight.
Yeah, it's too late.
That's too late.
Well, they do
Too
that
late.
because the weekend. But then again, like the conference tournaments, they'll have night to night. Why don't they do Saturday and Sunday? You know,
I don't know.
Gas is $2.60 a gallon right now
Right
at Whizz
now.
Mart on Gum Branch Road at Chappy's Chicken.
and if you roll up in here and say,
$2.60 a gallon right now till probably right close to 12 o'clock. So if you want some gas, you need some gas, it's Friday. You're going to be dating, going to the beach, whatever you're going to be.
going to see State and Clemson play tomorrow,
And if you got 4 vehicles, pull every one of them up here.
$2.60.
$2.60 a gallon of gas at Whizz Mart on Gum Branch Road.
I think I have time to drive to Wilmington and back so I can empty my tanks. So I can get some What can I be back by noon?
And tell them one more time if somebody rolls in here. I know people are listening; they just ain't rolling in here and saying it.
$2
free tank of gas.
There's a lot of people been in here. It's been pretty.
I know,
busy
but a free tank of gas if they come in here and say they heard it on free
and a free tumbler. How about this awesome looking
free tumbler?
Yeah. I mean,
Whizz Mart.
where can you go to and get a free tumbler?
Congratulations, Jerry Allen, again, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate
Number one prognosticator. Boy, that thing
He holds that thing well, don't he?
Are we piecing out here?
No, we're getting ready to talk about college basketball a little bit, real quick. College basketball. You're going to see Clemson, and we have been talking about the Super Bowl.
Who's going to win? You ain't picked the winner.
Who cares?
We decided we don't care.
It's going to be next week, actually, I think.
I hope Philly wins. I mean, I never thought I'd pull for Philadelphia Eagles.
Let's talk about college basketball.
College basketball. You're going to see Clemson and State tomorrow.
I am.
We were talking about it before.
Duke.
Clemson is 9-1.
Duke is unbelievable.
And they play
Hold
Carolina
on. Let's stay on top of here. Clemson's 9-1, 17-4, and not ranked.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
The ACC has 2 ranked teams out of their 18 teams they got now. Ain't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Remember when the ACC had 8 teams and 5 or 6 of them were ranked? Now you got 18 teams, and Duke is number 2, Louisville's number 21. That's it.
The SEC, right, is starting to capture all 3 major sports: football, basketball, baseball.
Yep.
If you're not in them,
Big Ten's got
if you're
a lot
not in
too.
that conference now, you're behind the 8 ball.
Well, they weren't very good in football this year, Jerry. They weren't in the national championship.
Again, the SEC is the best in football. They're showing they're the best in basketball. And the World Series last year showed that they were best in baseball. They're capturing all 3 major sports.
You know what Jay Billis said last weekend? He said it's going to be harder to win the SEC than the national championship.
That's what I'm saying.
SEC in basketball.
Whoever's running that conference has done it right.
They're projected right now to have 13 teams in.
Who's running the ACC?
Crazy.
Duke.
No, who's running the ACC conference and all that? Who's that guy?
I think it's still Swafford, is it?
Fire him.
No, Jim Phillips is the commissioner.
He's doing no good.
Jim
Fire
Phillips.
him. He's got to go.
So the SEC has 16 teams playing basketball. How many of them are ranked?
11.
10.
10. Okay, it was
As of
11.
this week. It may have been before. 10 of the 16 are ranked.
But they're saying 13 of them
Auburn's number
is going to
1.
make it.
Auburn looks good.
Auburn's lost one game, and that was at Duke.
Go Duke.
They lost at Duke?
Yeah, they lost at Duke. I think if you play on a neutral site, it's going to be a different story, Jerry.
A neutral site?
I'll finish second. I'm okay with
I watched
Auburn
and
400.
Tennessee. It was like a fist fight. It was a wrestling match.
All right, the Big Ten has got, oh my gosh, it looks like about 18 teams. How many of them are ranked, you think?
2.
6.
5 right now. Yep. And they got a ton of teams. Man, this whole Atlantic Coast Conference, and then you got Cal and Stanford. It's just weird. You think the NCAA is ever going to put on their big boy pants, step up, and fix the stuff they have to do?
No.
They ought to do it in quadrants, like like that,
Money.
4,
Right.
or do like
money,
that 4.
I would do like
that.
that, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's got to go up and down. Or
Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, Southwest.
And ESPN just extended the ACC's football TV package to 36.
Yeah. You got to do that because of Carolina, who they got. Belichick made money for
I've been hearing
ACC
that the SEC wants North Carolina. They don't want Florida State. They want North Carolina.
I wouldn't want the Florida teams either. But Belichick has saved ACC football.
And we talked about it off the thing.
They didn't give that package to the ACC if Belichick didn't show up.
They would.
No.
They would.
The best thing Carolina, or he's done since he got to Carolina, what do y'all think? Get rid of that turf.
Yeah, they're going to grass.
Yep, going back to grass.
Are they going back to grass?
Yep.
They're going back to grass.
And, of course, y'all know the story why they went away from grass. The state championship games that year were horrible because of the field coming up. So that's why they went to turf. But turf is just, they say it's already at the end of his run. Now, of course, you got turf at a high school, your run is 20 years.
It just tore up more knees.
But at college, it's going to be, I don't like it.
Belichick has done so much for Carolina
Bill who?
and the ACC.
You talking about Belichick?
Belichick.
Whatever his name
Look,
is.
if
Listen to me. Here's how valuable he is.
Okay.
I've
How
even
valuable is he?
contacted Bob Warwick and told him I needed 4 tickets to go to a UNC game. Man, I don't go to UNC games.
Right.
Never.
Yep.
That's how valuable
I wonder if
he
the
is.
Charlotte game is already sold out. It's the one at Charlotte. That'd be the one to try and get some tickets to.
Mm-hmm. He's awesome.
And then they're opening with TCU. It looks like
he'll
isn't it?
coach 1 year. He'll be there 1 year because after June 1st, his buyout's only $1 million. You can't tell me he'll be in. I'm telling you, he'll be in the NFL within 2 years.
I heard the Dallas Cowboys are going to tank next year. That's the reason to hire Schottenheimer so they can finish last again to get the first round draft choice. The Manning boy out of Texas ain't going to hire Lou Saban to be the coach.
That's possible, but
Done.
Belichick's there to get his son a head coaching gig.
How what's his contract? 4?
4 years.
He won't do 4 years, Jerry.
Is there really
He'll
a
do 2 for sure.
there really a codicil in there that his son takes over when he
I'm
leaves?
sure there is.
Hey, that's what they said. But hey, look, that's not bad either. I mean,
Well, if he's worth it to.
yeah, well,
If he comes in, I'm sure it's not like you got him for 5 years. You probably a 1 year deal, and then he's got to prove himself.
How is he going to
You
transition?
talking about
into
you talking about
college
the
play?
tail wagging the
Belichick?
dog.
yeah.
He's not going to call any plays. He'll have an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. He'll be like Mac
Oh,
Brown.
yeah.
He'll be a cheerleader on the sideline. And
But
let's go for it. On fourth down.
Mac Brown was always good at bringing in talent, but Belichick's stepped it up even more than that.
How many
that's
portals has he got so far?
A lot.
Yeah.
20-some portal kids.
Isn't that crazy that now they recruit the portal more than they do new kids?
I've always said that
Who'd
NC
they go?
State and UNC Tar Heels, hands down, should have the best football teams every year, and they haven't been doing it. They've never done it.
How does Hubert Davis think? His team is struggling. They're 13-9.
Yeah.
They're on the bubble making the NCAA tournament. They just announced they gave Belichick all this money and just gave him $20 million for NIL, increased his salaries for his assistants, and the football and the basketball. What everybody knows, North Carolina.
You talking about a nightmare. These guys are going from school to school to school. They got to transfer their records, their grades, and everything else. Do they go to class anymore?
No, they don't. It's all online.
Shame on Carolina football for not already being at that standard. That's what I say.
But Mac Brown was supposed to be that savior, and it didn't work out too good.
Well,
did
he
it?
did to start off with. I mean, but you can't ride him for so long. I mean,
He could sell ice to an Eskimo. Mac Brown could.
he did. Hey, he didn't do a very good job.
No.
He got a good job getting him in there. It's just somehow the coaching staff just wasn't what he needed.
And the Carolina running back. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Carolina running backs over the last 5 to 8 years have been awesome.
No, they had a couple good quarterbacks.
The running backs ain't bad either.
They've only had one. Who's a running back? Well, they had Javonte Williams from Wallace.
And then they got Clinton. They went and played for the.
Willie Parker. That was
always.
Willie Parker.
I mean, but I'm just
Long time
saying
ago.
they've had
Elijah
standardly
Hood,
pretty
Michael-
good running backs.
They had Elijah Hood and Michael Carter at the same time.
You know,
What
that's
you don't
two
see,
stud running backs.
what you don't see anymore in college or professional football, in my opinion, is the top-notch defenses that used to.
Well,
be
that's
around.
why Kansas City Chiefs are so good.
With Andy Reid's
Their
defense.
their
got.
defense, their
Philly,
defense
too.
is great.
Philly's defense is outstanding. They're nasty.
So how many basketball teams from ACC you think are going to make tournament?
2.
Is it 5?
Oh, there'll be more than 2.
I think it's 5.
Clemson's 17-4
Clemson,
right now.
Louisville, Duke,
State,
of course.
Duke, and Carolina.
State ain't getting in. They ain't
You
got no
don't think
chance
so?
unless they win the ACC.
Is Kevin Key still the coach?
Yeah. We got a
They went to the Final Four last year.
They did.
They did.
And now this year we're 15th we're 16th out of 19 teams right now.
All right, Duke is first at 18-2. You got Louisville second, 16-5. Clemson 17-4. Wake Forest 15-6.
But they're not.
SMU will probably get in 16-5.
SMU's not in right now. They're
I
outside
can't
looking
wait
at.
Not
for it to
now,
be
but
over
I
with.
can see them
Wake
getting in.
Wake Forest is on the outside looking at.
You're looking at 4, maybe 5. I
They're-
feel
they're-
like I'm doing a
Their
running
non-conference
hand or
schedule
a
is terrible.
spades hand. 4, maybe 5.
I hope we get 5.
But then,
5 would be.
But when you
5
look,
is gonna be tough.
when you look at the ones that have conference tournaments, that's something too. That you could
Yeah.
have 6 conferences and it'd be 3 that never were going to get in, and then
Shoo.
that messes up everything.
Well,
so
and
when
what-
you say 3 or 4 or 5 out of the AC,
Yeah.
that could drop to 3
Yeah,
or 4
it-
real
it-
easy.
Yeah.
Well, what State did last year, having to win 5 games in 5 days, that was brutal to get in and
That'll
win the
never
conference
happen
tournament. No,
I don't think that'll
It's only
happen
happened twice.
again.
I think they were the first to win 5. I think before
They were.
the most was 4.
Yeah, used to you had only
Tournaments
you had
just
to win
ain't been
4,
that
but
long,
when we
yeah.
expanded, you had to win 5.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I bought a
And
lot
then
of.
to make it all
I
the
got
way
a
to
lot
the
of
Final Four.
T-shirts from that. I got a lot of new
Jerry, let
T-shirts.
me ask you something. Are you going to give lessons on that new dance that you created last year?
The Cardinal Shuffle.
The Cardinal Shuffle?
We
Oh,
could do
boy.
a package deal.
We do a package deal.
We do
I
like,
got
come
What
over
is-
to Freedom 97.
What is the Cardinal Shuffle?
It's unbelievable.
you.
I tell you what, when we were in Havelock, I broke that thing out, and Ashley had to grab hold of the handrail because he was so excited about it.
You talking about excited? Jerry went undefeated with prognostication that week. Cardinals beat Jackson beat Havelock. He was tickled to death. Couldn't be still.
Was he doing that outside? Because y'all don't.
Oh, yeah,
y'all don't
outside.
sit in. They don't let you sit inside, do they?
Listen, you're gonna love
Some
this.
places don't.
So we've been to Havelock a couple times. We've been to Havelock a couple times, and they put us out on the stoop. I'm gonna call it.
They put us out there every time I've been there.
So where I stand at, I'm at the corner of it,
Mhm.
and there's a guy that wears a hat, and he's got a beard, and he's
Man.
always there, and his wife sits there. So the last 2 years we were there, we were on the radio, and he's looking at me, turning around when they beat us to death. You're just talking bad to me, and I'm just keep my cool. When we beat them this year, he turned around and looked at me. I wanted to say something to him. I just started doing my shuffle, and he got out of there like you ain't never seen.
Well, Jerry, before we wind it up, tell us about some of the stuff up here on the menu board. I see onion rings.
Yeah, we
chicken,
got
of course.
We got egg rolls.
You got
that
shrimp
are great.
too.
We got fish and shrimp today. I think we got
mercy.
onion
And
rings.
got gas for $2.60 a gallon.
We got meatloaf. We got hamburger steak. We got.
Man, I'm looking forward to my
bacon,
complimentary meatloaf.
Fried chicken. We got it all.
And you ain't taking
Good stuff.
nobody nothing to eat. They didn't come here to be on the show. They ain't getting nothing to eat. You ain't gonna be delivering, catering nothing. To nobody. Y'all hear that?
Do you cater events, Jerry?
I can. Yes, I can. I don't. I don't publicize it, but you got an event. You're a good customer. We'll take care of you. We do a lot.
Say you have a wedding or something, Jerry will do chicken wings for your wedding.
You don't want me for a wedding. But we got the football team will have something. The basketball team, I normally carry something for the
If
basketball
I want
team.
100 wings for next weekend, how much would that be?
Yeah.
He will work it out.
Start
Super
off
Bowl
with
party.
they'll call me and I'll give you a discount.
Okay.
Anyways,
No order is too large. No fee is too large.
Once again, I'd like to thank for the trophy. Need it now in your new location, 1109 Gum Branch Road, Suite 200, next to Carolina Comfort. Veteran-owned female staff with expanded facility. They will continue to offer embroidery, engraving, awards, screen print, and more at a price that's affordable for schools, churches, sport teams, the business apparel. Need it now. New location, 1109 Suite 200 Gum Branch Road. Call Amber or Meredith at 910-938-0100. Thank you, Lindsey Jarman, for donating that $75 gift certificate to Barnes Diamond Gallery. We'll be giving that away to the caller on Valentine's Day, which I think is on the 14th.
Man,
It is.
It's Friday the
Friday.
14th.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Good.
And while you're in a sponsor mood,
Yeah,
do
man.
it as only you can do it.
All right. I'd like to thank National Dodge, Harry Brown, Chris Raines, Ryan Brown, and Robbie Yates over there. National Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram. Golden Corral, Billy Sewell. He never called Billy up. We hadn't helped us. He's got a location there in Greenville. And Billy, we're working on Rick D's doing that announcement for you, buddy. Hollywood, with the weather like us, we hadn't had a chance to get up with him, but we're going to be working on that. Thank you, Sandra Fountain, Lisa Thornton over at Fountain Management, Barton Insurance Services, Bill Mercer, Onslow County Motor Company. We'll be doing the race report real soon, Ben. I think we're going to kick it off with the, what's that race? The Daytona 500 coming up in February.
That race, that Daytona 500.
Yeah. Thank you, Tommy Duff over at Hunt Heating and Air Conditioning, Lane Associates, Doctors Tommy and Kim Morgan, and of course, everybody remembers that we lost Dr. Kim Morgan about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that family's been a big supporter of Jackson High School athletics. Steve Goodson and the Phillips girl over there, Catherine Phillips. What's her name? Phillips.
Power Lady. We'll just call her
Crystal.
Power Lady.
Is it Crystal Phillips? Crystal Phillips, I think it is. I'm an old guy. You bear with me, okay? At Jones Onslow EMC, you touched on Energy Cooperative. Southern Touch Painting, all up and down the coast painting, and again, Barnes Diamond Gallery. And Jerry, we appreciate you hosting us today, buddy, with being out here at Chappy's Chicken and Whizz Mart. We hope got you on the map a little bit. And I will tell you one more time that you get gas today, fill up for $2.60 a gallon.
I'm going to fill up my car.
Thank you, Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, Jason Humphrey and Rainer, appreciate what you do, buddy, putting it together. Kevin, good seeing you here today, buddy. Anytime. And Jerry, it's always a lot of fun. I don't care where we go. We always have a lot of fun.
We do. We do.
We do.
We do have a lot of fun.
And congratulations again.
There was one game we went to. I forget where we were.
Where?
I had to put the Jerry on you. I had to put my coat on you. You remember that coat I got named Jerry?
That was at the Havelock game.
It was the Havelock game. It was so cold. I asked him. I said,
He put it on
you
me.
don't need it. I said, I got to put the Jerry on.
No,
he said, get off of me.
No.
I put that coat on me. He said, can I use this?
And
I said, yeah.
He even zipped it up like I was a little kid. But the reason he did it because he didn't want me in the press box. That's the reason.
He wanted you to get out.
Yeah.
Him dressing and everything. You sure y'all didn't date in high school?
I don't
All
know.
right, who y'all got winning the Super Bowl?
I'm not going to bet against that Mahomes fella.
I can tell you this. It's time, if you're going to be a betting man, it's time now to bet against him. I'm picking the Eagles.
Picking the Eagles.
It's time to
I'm
bet
going with
against
the Chiefs. I think they three-peat.
I'm going with him too.
As
I'm
bad as I hate
picking
to
the
say
Eagles.
it, I'm going with the Eagles as well.
I'm going to go with that Swift girl everywhere she goes.
Taylor Swift?
Yes, sir. Hollywood used to date her.
Are you a Swiftie, Ashley?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
It's Swifty.
I'm a Swiftie.
Did you go to her Eras Tour concert?
Who?
Yeah, her
No.
concert. You didn't go?
Mm-mm.
Hollywood couldn't hook you up with some tickets?
$2,000 a piece.
Hollywood's got a picture of him and her up at the
I know he
studio.
does.
Yeah.
Before she was famous or infamous, what do you want to say?
Famous.
Famous.
Well, anything anybody wants to add before we go? If not, we will see you. What are we doing next? We got the Sports Commission crowd next Friday. We're going to be at the Jacksonville Onslow Sports Commission in their Hall of Fame room looking at some of the stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's a big announcement.
And we're announcing the Hall of Fame candidates.
And the radio station will be the first place that it's announced, isn't it?
Yeah, and I guess
Hall of
not the candidates, it's the Hall of Fame recipients for the next year they're doing.
Yeah.
Will be the reveal show. So everybody's welcome to come and do it there too. We'll be on remote again. We're in our conference room. We've got plenty of room. So anybody that's here now wants to be here next Friday, come back there. We'll do it there.
Yeah.
And we will see you next Friday on Sports Talk.